Hello, everybody. Welcome all aboard the Bitsy train. Choo choo, beep beep. It's probably beep beep in Bitsy. But yeah, hello. My name is Marlowe. Let me know if levels are okay with music and with talking and all that kind of stuff. I got my eye on chat. But yeah, we are here today to do a little bit of learning Bitsy. So if you're unfamiliar, Bitsy is a game engine that is entirely in browser. So you don't need to download anything. You don't need to do anything except go to the web page. And I'm going to go ahead and post the link in chat one more time. I just did, but if you're just hopped in now, I wrote up a tutorial that we're going to be following today. And when you click that link, it's going to look a little bit something like this. So make sure you have that open if you want to follow along. And I will say as well that this tutorial works really well as a standalone outside of the workshop. So if you need to step away for a second, or if you want to follow along later or anything like that, everything we're doing is going to be in this doc. So it's pretty good. Somebody asked in chat what my weapon of choice is, and I have a little bit in Splatoon. I have a little bit of an unorthodox answer, and it is the undercover umbrella. I really like it. I don't know. I've been using a lot of different weapons lately, but I like the undercover umbrella. So yeah, we're going to get started. It's going to be very simple. Bitsy is super easy to pick up. You don't need any programming experience. I personally am a game developer. I've been doing game development for probably like 5 years now, mostly on the art side. I do a little bit of programming and game design and all that kind of stuff more as a hobby than I do as my job, but I do it all. But you can jump into Bitsy with no gaming experience whatsoever, and you can pick it up super easy. I basically taught myself in an hour and knew enough to write this tutorial and do this workshop. So hopefully that'll be a very similar experience for you. We're kind of gonna follow along. We're gonna go step by step. We're gonna make a really simple game that will pretty much just show you how to use the interface and how to be familiar enough that you can kind of look up other stuff on your own later. Oh, what's going on with my hat? Can you see it? It's so fun, so much fun. It's scary. It's a Spirit Halloween hat because it's April. Much respect for anyone who wields umbrella. Thank you so much, Gammy Koopa. But yeah, so without further ado, make sure you've got this doc open. I'm going to start at the top here. So what we're going to need for this tutorial is we're going to need the Bitsy engine right here. So make sure you have this link open. That's going to look like this when you open that up. And I might also recommend having the Bitsy documentation open. Bitsy documentation is really helpful. It's basically the canon tutorial about how to use Bitsy that is written by the developer, and there's a couple ways you can access it. You can access it through this link that I've included in the tutorial, but there's another really cool thing inside Bitsy itself where you can see all of these different windows have this little question mark next to them, and you can just see the about page. It'll just pop it open and you can read all the descriptions in the documentation, and it tells you what all the buttons do. And it's pretty sick. So yeah, we're gonna be sort of relying on that if we have any questions about how anything works. And it's really nice because it's got pictures, and if you're like me, you have to have pictures in your tutorial. So yeah, we'll kind of just do a little bit of an overview. I'm gonna hit the overview page here in our tutorial on all of the different features of Bitsy, and just kind of learn a little bit about it. So yeah, we've got our window open here. This is what it should probably look like. You may have one or two different windows here when you open it up, but this is the main hub of what you're going to be working on. In the top left here, you can write your game's title. So pick something fun. I'm going to say Marlowe Dobie presents Spirit Halloween 2023. Maybe I should make my game about that. And that will just keep the title of your game, and when you save out your game, it'll save it as that title. So also in the top bar here, up on the very right, can we see this actually? I'm gonna maybe have to scroll over a little bit here. I have to zoom in. Sorry, my screen's cut off. You can see it peeking up here, the tools box. I mean, you're all on the website, you could see it. There's a tools button in the very top right. And when you click that, you're gonna get this extra top bar that pops up. These are all of the different tools that you can use in Bitsy. And the ones that are kind of highlighted right now are the ones that we have open. So we have like room open, paint, which is over here, colors, dialogue, all that stuff. But say I want to check out exits and endings. That's gonna pop up the exits and endings window on the very right. I can drag it wherever I want. You can order these windows however you like. I don't think you can do anything vertically, but you can horizontally drag them wherever you like, so you can change your workspace up. I'll just close that one for now. But yeah, this is all the different tools. We're gonna go over just the ones that we're gonna be using today, so don't worry if you already feel a little bit overwhelmed by that, that's fine. And then next to the tools button, I know, I love the squishy window animation. It's got that little bit of polish, it's really good. And then next to the tools button in the top right, which is a little bit cut off on my screen right now, I apologize for that. There's a play button. So we'll actually go ahead. I'm going to pause the music because I think that this is the the default Bitsy room that you get when you start the game. We're going to hit the play button and just see what happens. So we hit the play button and it will tell us our title. So Marlowe Dobie presents Spirit Halloween 2023. And basically the only controls for Bitsy is arrow keys or WASD. I do apologize if this music is loud. Let me know if it's too loud. But we just move around with the arrow keys. We can move our guy around. There's these tiles. They're decorative. They're not walls. And then when you go up to this cat and you press an arrow key into the cat, it says, I'm a cat. And that's pretty much it. That's our default Bitsy room. And then in the top right, where you hit the play button, you can hit the stop button, and that will stop playing the game. So that's sort of the whole, the windows, what we're looking at, all that kind of stuff. That's how you sort of navigate the beginnings of Bitsy. So next thing up in our tutorial is we're going to go over the main tools. Let's just go ahead and check out the documentation for each of these by hitting our little question mark next to all the windows. So let's check out the room documentation. So a room in Bitsy is where the action takes place. Rooms are where your avatar will walk around and talk to others. You kind of just saw that. Our room window played the game when we hit the play button. You can have as many rooms as you like, and you can connect them together using exits and entrances, or exits and endings, which we will go over later, which will allow your avatar to walk between rooms. So rooms are always composed of 16 by 16 tiles, but what is in each of those tiles is up to you. So you always have, all rooms are the same size. It's kind of a fun restriction. I think that's something that's fun about Bitsy, is there's a lot of restrictions that take a lot of sort of like the guesswork out, and you can kind of just dive in and work within those restrictions and be really creative. So every room is 16 by 16. There are several room editing tools and room settings available at the bottom of the room tool that allow you to change the appearance, behavior, and audio of each room. So it's nice to have this little window here that shows you sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what all of these different things do. So up at the top here, we have the room name. It's just called example room. We can name it whatever we want. We'll call it Spirit Halloween. And then we've got the previous and next room buttons right here. So this will let you toggle between more rooms when you have them. So we'll get to making a room a bit later, but next to that is the add room button, which does exactly what you think, makes yourself a new room. You can duplicate a room, you can delete a room. And if you're working with a game that has a lot of different rooms, you can open the Find tool, which will pop open this, and it'll just show you like all the rooms you have, and you can kind of like see them all more in a file searching way rather than hitting the arrows over and over again. But we'll close the Find tool for now. And then down here, down at the bottom left, we've got these kind of tabs right here. So we can edit our room. This is sort of like placing tiles. When we paint, I'm going to close this here so we can see the paint windows right here. When we hit the paint button and we click somewhere on the screen, we're going to paint whatever is in this paint window. So right now we have our avatar selected, and there can only be one avatar. So we're just, wherever we click, he goes. You can select the tile window, and this is where you get things like this block, and we can start painting blocks if we want. We can click them again to take them away. Pretty easy. And then there's sprite. So like the cat is a default sprite. Sprite is basically anything that is interactable besides yourself. And there's also items as well, which we will get to in a little bit too. So that's what the paint does. Pick, I believe, just lets you click on a tile and then it gets selected in your paint window. So I just can color pick instead of search around if I want that. And then exits and endings will show you where any sort of like doors to other rooms are or exits are in your room. Right now we don't have any, so clicking this doesn't really do anything. And then even further down, we can turn off the grid if we want. I kind of like that if I'm doing art and I just want to see what it's going to look like when I press play, but we'll keep it on for now. And we can also turn on and off walls. And walls are basically any tile like this block here that has collision. So if you remember when we hit play and we do Marlowe W Presents Spirit Halloween, I can walk through these walls or these tiles. But if I want to make them into a wall, I can just hit this wall button right here, which is pretty handy. And now you can see we can turn off and on where those walls exist. And I shouldn't be allowed to walk through that anymore, which is nice. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So yeah, and then we have colors, which is going to be referencing this colors window right here that I'm going to pull all the way to the right just for fun. You can make different sort of palettes, I suppose I would call them. Walloween! That's so good. Yeah, that's a really good point. Find is essential once you start, or the Find tool is really essential once you start making a lot of tiles and a lot of rooms and your game gets bigger. It's very helpful. But in colors, you can go to the drop down here and select any color palettes that you make. Right now, we only have this one, which is Blueprint. Tune, you can select any tune you want. I think these are all default tunes in here. We could do Rhythmic Ruins and see what happens. I like that. And then in avatar, you can select what avatar appears in this room. Like I could say I want my avatar to be the cat, or I'll just have it be the default avatar for now. So that's the room window, and that's kind of the main window you're pretty much going to be working with throughout your time in Bitsy. So we talked about painting. Let's actually go over colors, because colors is really fun. Here in the colors window, I mean, I like colors. You have 3 different colors for any room, maximum at any time. So you have your background color, which is this dark blue. We can just select that up here and like move it around on the color wheel. You get a different color based on where you do it in the wheel up here. The closer to the center is least saturated. The furthest away is most saturated. And then this little slider on the bottom, you can slide it to the right to make it darker or lighter. Let's pick, I don't know, let's pick a pink because I like pink. And we'll do kind of like desaturated. Oh, I'm going to get too into this. Maybe like a salmon. And a nice thing too is if you have colors in mind and you don't want to play with this tool, you can just put the hex value of your color in, which is super easy if you're like using Photoshop or something, and you can color pick off an image and then just use that color. For the tile color, that's like the walls, anything that's a tile sprite. Let's make that like a dark red. Yeah. And let's just keep the sprite color white because it looks fun. I don't know. Actually, maybe I should make these colors more Halloween-y now that I'm thinking about it. Like instantly, right? This is very Halloween-y. Okay. And you can name your color palette here. So we're going to name this Spirit. I don't know. Everything's going to be named Spirit Halloween today. And then similarly to the room window, you have all these buttons up here. You've got left and right to go between your color palettes. Let's actually try really quick making a new color palette. So we can hit this new button right here, and it'll kind of just auto-generate one for you, which is quite bright. So we'll just pick some random colors. And then in the colors window here, on the room window, in the little colors drop down, you can pick between both of these. It's pretty hideous, that one that I just made by accident. So we'll stick with Spirit for now, but that's kind of where you make all those fun little color palettes and stuff like that. It was very Space Funeral. That's a good call. I don't disagree. Cool. And then we'll look at the dialogue window really quick. The dialogue window is probably your second most important window besides rooms. This is sort of, here, I'll actually open the documentation because it probably describes it really well. The dialogue tool is one of Bitsy's most powerful tools. It is used to create all the interactions the player has within the game. So for example, the most basic use of the dialogue tool is to create text that will be displayed when the player walks into a sprite. So for example, if you remember when we walked into the cat, it said, "I'm a cat." At more complex levels, it can be used for things like branching dialogues with choices based on numbers of items, so you can assign dialogue to sprites, items, exits in your room. You can edit the title dialogue, like where it says Marlowe W presents Spirit Halloween 2023. And yeah, the dialogue tool is really powerful. We won't be going over everything that it does. We're just going to be pretty much looking at the basics for the purpose of our tutorial today. And then the documentation is all there, so you can kind of get into dialogue a little bit more deeply later if you like. But yeah, we can scroll through, see we have the title, we have cat dialogue. So let's make it say, instead of "I'm a cat," it's like, "Boo." And let's see it do that. Boo! It worked. Hold on, I just realized I don't have my regular music playing either. But yeah, so that's the dialogue tool. That's the basics of it. I can add more dialogue to the cat here later. We'll get into that. But yeah, pretty straightforward. And exits and endings is here. This is one that I don't think is by default open. So we'll click exits and endings in the top here where we have all of our hidden tools. I'm going to drag that to the right so we can all see it very well. Oh, Hankoween. Yeah, everything is so easy in Bitsy. It's wild. You're going to fall in love with it. I'm super excited about it. So right now we don't have any exits in this room, but we can add them, which we'll do in the tutorial. So we'll get to that in a second, and I'll do a little explanation of it. But exits and endings are basically just like you pick a tile in the room. When your player goes over that tile, it can end the game if you want, or it can send you to another room. And you can do one-way exits or two-way exits or anything like that. So yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. And then the last tool we're going to use today at the very, very end is the download tool, which I do believe remains open when you start Bitsy for the first time. But let me drag that to the left. And this is as simple as it comes. When you're finished working on your game, you hit download. It'll download it as an HTML file, which you can then embed in something like an itch page or just open up on your computer and play. And then you can also import HTML files. So this is sort of how you export and import your game. The nice thing about Bitsy is the browser will remember your game. So if I refresh right now, none of my work will be lost. It will all be the same. I don't believe that works from like computer to computer, even if you're like, I mean, I have PC, I'm logged in on my Microsoft account on both of them. It remembers differently, so it's just local to your system. It will remember. Yeah, and then also, yeah, Will mentioned we will be popping in for some music and SFX tools later. Will is going to kind of go over those just a tiny bit and show you what that's all about. But yeah, for the basics, that's kind of all we need to know. It's just all these windows that are open right here is all we need. So yeah, let's get started with our tutorial. So we've been over this. We've opened Bitsy. It looks like this. We checked out our project room. We already named our game, Marlowe Presents Spirit Halloween 2023. And then we also named our starting room Spirit Halloween, or whatever you like. You don't have to name your Spirit Halloween. So we're gonna have 2 rooms. And let's just go ahead and click that new room button. So we'll add a room. We'll call this Haunted House. And it's totally just blank. Like you're just gonna get that 16 by 16 grid, just like you've seen before. Nice and easy. So let's make some walls for this room. That's the first thing we'll do. I'm following along with this tutorial. So we're gonna open the paint tool and we're gonna hit the tiles button. And yeah, let's actually drag the paint tool over so we can see it again. Oh my God, I can't drag for the life of me. So we're gonna go to this tile here and we've got this basic block, but we could probably make it more fun. We'll just do it for fun's sake. Let's make it like, oh yeah, and then I don't think I explained this either, but the paint tool in Bitsy is super easy. You basically click on a pixel to turn it off or on. Nice and simple. So let's make like a brick. Yeah, let's try and make like a brick wall or something. I'm gonna say that. I'm also not used to working in pixels, so this is kind of it's just a new venture for me. I don't really think in pixels. Yeah, the bouncy window animation is so fun. And then I believe in our tutorial, we did say we wanted to click the wall button, which I already talked about. So this will turn on collision for the object, which will keep the player from being able to walk through it. So that's right here. This is the wall tile. We have that on, so no one's gonna be able to walk through this. And we'll go back to our room window here on the left. Make sure you hit edit and paint. These are both selected. And remember, when you hit paint, you're gonna be able to draw whatever is in your paint window, which is currently our wall. And let's just make some walls for our room. I think I made like a, oh my gosh, this actually looks pretty cool. I think I made some kind of shape in the tutorial version of this that I don't remember, but I'll probably do something pretty similar. I feel like I said haunted house, but maybe this is the stock room or something, where all of the like animatronics that aren't out on the floor are stored. You know what I mean? In Spirit Halloween, that is, in the Spirit Halloween canon. All right, we've got walls. We've got a new room. This is what my room looked like when I did our tutorial. And then, yeah, now we're going to work on the exits and endings portion. So when we go back to here, make sure you have your exits and endings window. You can see it in the top left in the tools bar. Make sure that's highlighted. Pull that all the way to the left here. So we're gonna hit the new button right here. That's this little plus icon. And also, please feel free, and if you have any questions or you need me to stop or slow down, just let me know. I'm trying to keep my eye on chat here, and we can make sure that everyone's on the same page. So we're gonna hit new for exits and endings. We're gonna say, what's my favorite Halloween costume I've dressed up as? I can't even recall like a single costume. I think I really did like that I did Lip from Panel de Pawn. I think was the last Halloween costume that I actually wore. That was pretty fun. Yeah, and 8x8 pixels or less. So for our exits and endings, we have a couple different options. We have exit, we have one-way exit, and we have ending. And those are all pretty self-explanatory. So an exit is kind of like a door that you can, a door between two rooms. Like you can go from one room to the other and from that room back. A one-way exit is a one-way door. So that's, you're leaving the airport, the door's open and shut behind you and you can't come back. An ending is just gonna end the game. So you can put that anywhere that you like in the game as well. Like you could make a tile somewhere and just like if you land on that tile, that's the end of the game. So for now we'll do exit. And this is kind of what it looks like when, this is what it looks like when you hit the exit button. So what it's gonna show you is where the door is located in the room that you are currently, which is this room on the left. And then it will show you where the door will be located in the room that the door will lead to, which is this room on the right. So right now we only have two rooms. So it's showing us our room on the left, and it's showing us the original Spirit Halloween room on the right. You can change what room it will go to if you have more rooms by hitting this little edit button right here. But we do want to go to the original room, so we'll just keep that as Spirit Halloween. So there's a couple ways you can move the door if you don't like where it's placed. It'll kind of just give you a default spot for it. You can hit this move button right here, and then it will say right here, click in room. So I can click any tile in the room that I like. Let's say I want the exit to be right here, smack dab in the middle. Except I also accidentally painted a wall there. So make sure you don't do that. Just click on that again to get rid of the wall. And now you can see on the exits and endings that it's right here in the middle. You won't see it here unless, if you remember, in the room window we have the exits and endings button and it'll show you where it's located. So now let's maybe move it in our original room as well. So we're gonna hit this previous room button here, and we can see this is where the door is located on our first room. So let's hit move right here. Let's click somewhere in the room. We'll click right here. I think I maybe accidentally hit. No, I didn't accidentally paint a tile that time. That was great. Trap door. Yeah, it's kind of a trap door because you can't see it. Another way you can move the rooms around is if you hit this little, if you make sure that this pencil icon is selected, you can also move it around by like going up and down on the X and Y axis by a tile, which is maybe more helpful or more intuitive to you. You can kind of pick. But yeah, so for now, we'll just put that there. It doesn't really matter for the purposes of this tutorial where the room ends up, just make sure you have it. Yeah, and then that will let us walk between rooms. So we've done all of this. We've followed the tutorial. We've clicked the exits and endings button and we've moved the exit where we like it. So yes, by default, exits are invisible. So I think what we should do is make a sprite that we can place on the tile that will at least show us where it is, right? We can just draw something, put a little drawing there, and then we'll be able to tell where our exit is. The exits and endings look like gecko eyes when they move. Oh, like on the right here? They kind of do. That's creepy. I don't like those eyes. Cool. So let's make a door. We're going to go to our paint window here and let's do a tile. So make sure that tile is selected in the top here between avatar, tile, sprite, and item. And hit the little new button here, which will add a drawing. Let's rename it Spooky Door, because everything is scary. And then, yeah, let's just go ahead and draw it. So I'm gonna keep it really simple because it's 8 by 8. I'm not gonna get too fancy. Oh yeah, 8th grader corrected. Chameleons, thank you. Actually, I'm gonna keep the bottom open. It's just gonna be like line, 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 and we'll put a little dot on it for the doorknob. So now that we have our door drawn, we're gonna go back to our room window on the left here and hit the paint button, which remember, will paint whatever is selected right now, which is a door. So here's the tricky part. You have to remember what tile it is and then go back and paint it. So I'm gonna hit the exits and endings. I'm gonna say, okay, it's this one right here. I'm gonna remember, actually, yeah, I forgot about this as well. You can hover over it and it will say 11-9 because you're 11 tiles in and 9 tiles down. So if you don't want to just visually remember it, you can hover over it and say, okay, I gotta place my door on 11-9. So I'm gonna hit the paint button, hover over that, 11-9, that's where our door is. Easy. And now let's go to our our next room, which is Haunted House. I'll hit the exits and endings button again, just to remember where I put that door. You can hover over it, 7-7, I like that. Nice easy number. 7-7, click, door. So, yeah, let's check that out. Doory door, very true. I'm really quick actually gonna go in and do a little thing here where I'm gonna turn off the music in both of these rooms, just so I don't have to worry about the music that I'm playing in the background anymore. You don't need to worry about that necessarily. That's just for the stream. So let's hit the play button and let's see if all of this works. Marlowe presents Spirit Halloween 2023. Got our tiles, they're all lined up. The cat still says boo, I forgot that we changed that. And when we touch the door, it will lead us into our next room and then back again. And we can do that endlessly, forever. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, so that's exits and entrances, or exits and endings, I guess, but we just made a two-way exit. That was pretty simple. You can, you know, do secret ones if you want to not make art for where you put the exits and just have people run into them like trap doors. I kind of like that. That's kind of a fun idea. I don't know if I've played a Bitsy game yet with that much trickery in it, but I think that would be a fun idea. All right, so we covered this. We drew our door. We painted it. We fixed that for the exit and we tested it. We went between our rooms. So yeah, now I think in the tutorial I said we can assign music to the second room as well if you want. I'm not gonna do that just because I don't want to blast everyone's ears out with the music, but again, if you would like to have music in both of your rooms, hit the tune button here and then select from any of the tunes that you have for both of your rooms. My tune is off right now because I like it quiet. Oh yeah, when you go through it looks like your room just warps based on the shapes. Yeah, so actually what we're gonna do now is make it actually look a little bit more like a different room. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a different color palette for our second room. So we've got Spirit Halloween, but let's give the haunted house room a different color palette so that it doesn't just look like stuff is warping and you're in the same room. Let's make it actually feel like you're going into a different room. So you watched me do this already, but we'll go through this again. We've got our colors window. and we can cycle between the two palettes that we have made. We can make a new palette if we want, but let's just mess with palette 1. And let's actually just call this Haunted House so we remember that it's for the Haunted House room. So one cool thing you can do is in the room window, when you hit colors, you can select from your different palettes. You could just hit the Haunted House one and then preview sort of what your colors are gonna look like. So I hate this. This really hurts my eyes. But let's make it like really macabre or something. We'll do like red and the tiles will be black. And yeah, actually this yellow might work really well for this bright color. It could be kind of creepy. So now when you are in the room window here and you're moving between, actually let's make the tiles not black because the tiles are black in the other room. Ooh, that gray is kind of cool. It's kind of creepy. Not green. Red and green's bad. I'm gonna actually make the background a little bit darker. Okay, this is suitably creepy, I think. It's fine. It's spooky. Yeah, so when you go between your rooms, you can see now they'll have a different color palette. And when we hit the play button and we go between our rooms, it just feels like a different room now, right? Your avatar color is different. The background color is different. Your tile color is different. And yeah, just feels really different. Doesn't feel like we're lost anymore. Cool. So that's a little bit about room customization. Man, I made such a cuter color palette when I did this tutorial. Bummer. I've lost my touch. Oh, look how cute this one is too. I did so much better. All right, so yes, when we travel between rooms, our colors will change. Yeah, so also let's customize our avatar because that's fun. So in the paint tool here, I'm just gonna go back to our original room just so we can have the fun orange and black. Go ahead and hit the avatar button. This is the default avatar you'll always get with Bitsy, but just like anything else, you can draw whatever you want in here. So let's all just take a second and draw a cool avatar. It's no Spirit Halloween. Yeah, it really isn't. I think I kind of need to do like a ghost or something, right? Like I'm like contractually obligated to do a ghost as an ambassador of Spirit Halloween. Again, I'm not a pixel artist. I'm just doing my little 8x8 best here. Trying to draw a ghost. Actually, I mean, he's pretty fun. The eyes did it. I love him. Avatar, the way of the Spirit Halloween. Very nice. When I did the tutorial, I made a kitty, but I like this ghost a lot better. My colors are worse, but my drawings are better. So, if you've got a drawing you kind of like, we're going to unlock a new level of Bitsy right now. We're going to hit the animation button, which will open up animating. So Bitsy, again, has like kind of fun restrictions. You only get 2 frames, and it will play like a frame. I don't know, it's like 2 frames a second or something. It'll play really slowly, but you're only allowed 2 frames, so you don't have to like get super crazy with animation or worry too much about it. You can kind of just do whatever you want. So I think that you've got frame 1 and frame 2, and then on the left it will preview what the animation is going to look like. Right now we're not seeing anything because both of the frames are the same. So I'm going to hit frame 2, and I think I'm going to like maybe try moving his eyes up between. Yeah, see on the left here, he just looks up and down a little bit. Maybe I'll change where his little ghost tendrils are so it looks like he's walking. Is that ghostly? Is that right? Do we feel okay about that? The ghost is giving a full visual pat down at all times. Or saying yes. And you can also see it in the room, which is kind of cool. You can see him walking around. But yeah, what's nice about Bitsy is it'll show you sort of like all of the... when you're editing, it will show you all of the tiles that are from the last frame that are kind of colored in, as well as, because they'll be like this slightly highlighted color. So it's a little bit of like onion skinning if you're familiar with that term in animation. But yeah, just make a little 2-frame animation. It can be anything. It can be legs moving up and down 1 pixel, just something super simple. That took like 2 seconds because it's an 8x8 grid. Super easy. So now our little ghost will move like that. I think I made my kitty's head bob up and down. I just moved all the pixels down in my 2nd frame, and it still looks pretty fun. Okay, now, if we're all good with that, please again let me know if you need any catch-up time or anything at all, or any questions, but I think we're all doing really well here. We're gonna make a new sprite to replace that default cat, which is hanging out in the room. Although I do feel like we would see cats in Spirit Halloween. What is my least favorite Halloween costume I've worn? When I was little, I don't know if this counts. I feel like my mom was trying really hard. I think I was like 3 years old. I remember this. My mom was trying really hard to like not have to buy us a new Halloween costume. And she like happened to have a clown costume and she made me put it on, and I didn't care about clowns and it was really itchy. So I was just like throwing a fit that I could not be this clown. So I think that year I ended up being like, you know, those orange trash bag pumpkins where you just have like, you're literally wearing like a trash bag and it's like full of paper and you're just a pumpkin. I think that's what I was that year. But the clown was my least favorite Halloween costume I've worn. I was not into it. Chat may also answer that question if they like. So, cool. We're going to make some new sprites. We're going to replace the default cat. And we're going to make a sprite for our 2nd room. So what we're going to do is have one guy in each room here. So we're going to have somebody in the haunted house room as well. I'm sorry, I have to change these colors. What am I thinking? I was like, I'm going to do something sinister, but it just turned out ugly and bad. And now the ghost is like pee-pee colored. And it should be cute instead. Yeah, okay, that looks ghostly. I like that. Sorry, my sensibilities were upset. So we're gonna have a sprite in this room and a sprite in this room as well. So, yes, and thank you for linking. The tutorial is in chat. Again, it works as a standalone tutorial too, so if you need to get caught up or you want to do it later and just kind of take it all in right now, that's totally fine. You'll have the same results. So we're going to hit the sprite button here in the paint tool. And then this is pretty cool because you can see we have our sprite here, the cat. You can also just like straight up type what dialogue you want in here. So now we'll make it say booyah, like booyah. You can also hit the animation button like we did before and animate these guys. But for now, let's just make this a new character. So I'm gonna make him like a skeleton, so I'll call him Skello. And we'll just erase this cat drawing. Yes, actually, thank you. That is a very good tip. If the Bitsy interface ever feels like it's glitching out or it's doing something that it shouldn't, literally just go ahead and refresh your page because it will remember everything and you won't lose any of your work. See, it remembered that I took the butt off of this cat and didn't finish the sprite. And I've noticed one thing that'll happen is sometimes if I have a lot of animated elements, it won't play it this slow, but it'll like play it really, really fast and I can't really tell what it's supposed to look like. And when I refresh, it fixes that. So just keep that in your back pocket. as a little tip. It did not remember that I renamed this though, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit Skello, or type Skello in there. No! Maybe I need to hit enter. Yes, hit enter when you rename cat. And let's draw a little skeleton. I think just a skull face. I'm not gonna do a whole skeleton. That looks like a skeleton, right? Maybe I want him to have a mouth though. You know what I mean? Like that. But it's kind of scary. It's a little scary. That's a weird nose. I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Maybe like... Now he just looks like a scary clown. What have I done? Well, this is our skeleton. That's fine. We're fine. Let's give him a little animation. I'll just make him look up like our... Oh, that's kind of fun. You can see it on the left here. It's like he's sort of, maybe like he's talking or something. Oh, look, that's so cute. We did it. It's just a scary face. Love that about him. Yeah, there it is. Chomp, chomp. Yeah, I spent too long trying to make a skull when I was learning Bitsy. I know, I feel like if there were more pixels, I'd get really too into it, but I like that Bitsy like takes that from me, so I'm just like, whatever. And I'm making a game. Another cool thing about the sprite window here is you can pick a sound effect. We're not really gonna get into sound effects until maybe later, but for now we can just keep it on meow because it's a fun little sound and we don't have to worry about it. So let's make another sprite for our second room. So I'm actually just gonna go over to the second room here so we can see what it's gonna look like in our new color palette. We're gonna hit the new button here, the little plus. What should we put in the second room? Hand. Oh, I like that. Hand. We'll call him Handlow. Hand. Pants. Big. Yeah, I'm thinking big giant Zelda hand. Except hands are the hardest thing to draw. Oops, yeah, don't forget to hit enter when you're naming your sprite or it won't save. Okay, I'm really gonna wing it here. I feel like that's the wrist. Oh, and I'm actually gonna put him somewhere in this room, so I'm gonna like edit paint and I'll just like put him up here so I can maybe kind of see what he's gonna look like in the room as well. Oh yeah, okay, so there's some meta sprite, which is advanced Bitsying, which sounds like making multiple sprites and stacking them together. I'm not advanced enough for that, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all are outpacing me. That kind of looks like a hand, right? Yeah. It's got 4 fingers, but it's a hand. Let's give him a little animation. Scary hand. Maybe we'll have him... Oh, see, I think my preview is messing up here a little bit. So I'm going to refresh. Refresh my game. Go back to my room. Oh, it's messing up again though, isn't it? Let's see. Can see Handlow well here. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe, hold on. That's bizarre. I've not seen that before. I'm gonna try refreshing one more time. I mean, we can always edit him in the first room, which appears to be fine. But I want to see him in here. Huh. Yeah, get that the most animation preview glitches. Well, if you're having the same problem I am right now, it seems like it will let us animate in the first room. I think this is the last animation we're going to do anyway, so don't worry too much about it. But I think maybe we're going to raise his pinky. That kind of seems fun. Like he's just kind of doing this. Hand or squid ghost. Yes. And we should be able to see him in the room here, just maybe not in this little preview. Amogus with swagger. Yeah, I guess you really could make like Among Us sprites very easily in this. Okay, so let's recap really quick. We've got our first room with our avatar, which is a fun ghost. We've got our Skello character here, which I accidentally turned animation off for, but... Oh, wait. I think it got rid of my animation, too. Hold on. We need to redo Skello's animation. Is it like that? It was like that, right? Yeah. Had a little animation glitch. Oh, no. So we've got Skello, we've got our avatar, we've got our first room with our color palette. We have a door that will take us to this room with a new color palette and with Handlow. Or whatever you chose to make. I think in the tutorial I made face and snake because it was the first things that came to mind. So make sure they're placed in both the rooms. So let's give some dialogue to our new friends. So in our first room with Skello, let's have him say, go talk to Handlow. So we can do that in here. We could just type that right here in the paint window. Go talk to Handlow. But what I might recommend doing is doing it in the dialogue window itself, which we talked about a little bit earlier. So we have that open right here. You can also just click this button right here that says open in the dialogue editor. Handlow Dobie. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna crack open a little Coca-Cola. I hope you heard that a little bit. Got my little Coke Mini. Ooh, that was crisp. So this is the dialogue editor. Currently, this is called cat dialogue because we took it from the cat. Let's just rename that to Skello dialogue and hit enter there. And this is what the dialogue editor looks like. You get a couple more options when you do it in the dialogue window versus just doing it here in the paint window. Yeah, and so what I did in the tutorial was you have like different text effects you can do, which is cool. You can also change the color for some of your text if you want. So, yeah. The Mountain Dew Spark versus Mini Coke. So let's actually have a little bit of fun with text effects really quick. Let's change the color. So we'll say, you click this little color palette button here, and you can change between what colors you want. So you can color the text like the ground, which is orange, the tiles, which are black here, or the sprite, which is white. Let's just pick ground because it would be cool to color something in orange. So when you click this palette, it will generate these two things here that say color 0 and then slash color. Anything you put in between these is going to be colored orange or colored the background color. So let's just cut this first one out to put it on this side of the word Handlow, and that will make Handlow's name orange. I'm going to capitalize Handlow too, so we respect him. And then another cool thing you could do is, I'm just going to hit the space button here. You can also draw any of the sprites that you drew in these boxes as well. So I can say, let's do a drawing of Handlow. Let's hit this little pencil button, and it'll say draws Handlow. So that should draw the little Handlow sprite on there. So let's see if all of this works. So let's press the play button. We'll go talk to Skello, and he should give us instructions to go talk to Handlow. Oh, look how cute we are. Go talk to Handlow. So the Handlow text is orange, and we have a little sprite of Handlow in there which as a player, I'm like, oh, that's the character I'm looking for. That's pretty cool. So that's super easy. That's all just here in the dialogue window. And you can also do wavy text, you can do shaky text, you can do rainbow text. That's all built in, so you can have fun with some of that stuff. This is just so dang spooky. So yep, we got that. It says go talk to Handlow. So for Handlow, we're going to have him give you an item and put it in your inventory. And Handlow's item, you're going to give it back to Skello, and that's going to be sort of the game. So you can make this item whatever you want. Let's go to the items window. I think I'm actually just going to reuse this default cup one. You get some dialogue here that says, you found a nice warm cup of tea. So this dialogue you would see if, for instance, I put this cup in the world and you walked up to it and picked it up. But we're actually not going to do that. We're just going to have Handlow give it to you after it talks to you. So you can keep this here if you want. You're not going to see it. I'm just going to take it out because why not? We don't need it. So what would Handlow give to Skelly? I do know how to insert a break in the dialogue, and actually we will be doing that in a little bit as well when we have people doing some multiple dialogue, so never fear, that is coming up. Handlow's ring is pretty fun. Let's try that. Let's just say ring, and we'll draw a little ring. Maybe it'll be a big ring. Handlow's razor. Maybe it's like a diamond ring, like this. That looks like a ring, right? That works. Oh, yep, don't forget to hit enter when you rename it or it doesn't take. So that'll be our ring. Love it. And then we are going to make some dialogue for Handlow now. So we are going to go ahead and go to, you can just find it in our sprite window. We've got Skello, we've got Handlow. You can open the dialogue editor up again with just a little pop-up, and it'll just open up Handlow's dialogue here. So we'll go ahead and say, this is the first time we're doing something from scratch. We've got nothing in this window, so we're gonna hit the add button. There's a lot of options here. We're not gonna go over all of them today, but believe me, they are very simple. But if you wanna just add dialogue, we'll first go dialogue, and then we'll hit dialogue again. So that'll open up this familiar window, and we'll type in, what is Handlow's character voice? He's like, Yerg. Could you give me a hand and pass this ring along to Skello? He's like, so this is what his text is gonna be. And remember, we can draw any sprites in this text box. So actually what I'm gonna do is draw the ring. So I'll draw the ring, I'll hit the little pencil. I've forgotten the word pencil 1,000 times. The little pencil thing here. And I think I'm actually gonna cut it and put it right where he says ring. So it'll be like appear right there. So let's just play really quick and make sure that all works. We can talk to Skello. It says go talk to Handlow. And then we can go talk to Handlow. And he says, Yarg, could you give me a hand and pass this ring icon, along to Skello? Sick. It all works, except I put an extra space here, and I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I love that. So he tells us to give the ring to Skello, but he doesn't actually give us the ring yet. Like, nothing is in our inventory, nothing happens. He just discusses it with us. So then we are going to go through the process of adding the ring to our inventory. So we finished our dialogue. Go ahead and hit this add button down here in the dialogue window. And I believe it is under item and variable actions. So we're gonna set item count. So hit item and variable actions, set item count. And it's going to like default, it's gonna say like ring, because it's the only item we have created right now, in inventory equals 10. Let's just make it 1, because there's only 1. I mean, we could keep it as 10 if we wanted, but, you know, let's keep it canon. We'll just make it 1. So after we talk to Skello, we're gonna have the ring in our inventory. That's good. But now, if we do that and we go back and talk to Skello, he's just gonna say the same thing over again. Like, there's nothing inside Skello that's checking to see if we have the ring in our inventory. So we are going to go back. Yeah, we did all of this. We got the Game Boy, we put it in our inventory. So we're gonna go back to Skello's business and mess around with it a little bit. This is gonna be the most complicated part of the tutorial. It's still not complicated. Don't worry too much about it. But this is the closest thing to programming that we're doing today. So you don't need to know programming, but this is basically a programming concept that we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and in Skello's dialogue, we're gonna hit add. We're actually gonna hit lists, and we're gonna hit branching list. So a branching list is, whoa, Gramming. Oh, we got a Hank cameo? Yeah, there he is. A branching list is basically an if-else statement in programming, if you're familiar with that. So if here basically means Skello is going to be checking to see if the ring in our inventory equals 1. So he's like, cool, if you've got the ring, this is what I'm going to say to you. So we can put anything in here we want. And then else is what happens if you don't have the ring in your inventory. So what we probably want to put in here is his original dialogue. So I'm actually going to go ahead and copy this original dialogue that says go talk to Marlowe. And I'm going to put this in this else section right here. So if we don't have the ring, he's just going to say the original thing to us. And we're actually going to go up to this dialogue here. We do not need this anymore, so we're going to go ahead and hit delete in the top right. And currently, this should work in such a way as right now we'll just have him say, you got it. So if we have the ring in our inventory, he'll say, you got it. Otherwise, he's going to say the same thing to us. So let's try this out. We'll hit the play button in the top right. Marlowe W presents Spirit Halloween. Talk to Skello. He says, go talk to Marlowe, which is great because that's what he should say if we don't have the ring in our inventory, right? And no matter how many times you talk to him, he's going to say the same thing. So we're going to go into the door. We're going to talk to Marlowe. He says, Yarg, could you give me a hand and pass this ring? Oops. Maybe I didn't put an extra space in. Now I'm missing a space. We'll fix that. Along to Skello. He gave us the ring. We go back to Skello, and he says, you got it, because he was checking to see if we have the ring. Yeah, can you believe that was the most complicated thing we're doing today? Pretty much. And honestly, that is basically the basis of this tutorial. We're going to do a couple extra things to, one, end the game, but then like add a little bit as well. First, let's go back to, let's find our Marlowe dialogue and fix that missing space, because that's going to drive me crazy. And in the tutorial here, I think we did a couple things. So we want to display dialogue, thanking the player for bringing them the ring in our case. We're going to end the game and we're going to display a you win dialogue. So Christy had asked earlier how you do a page break. This is actually where we're going to do it. So let's make you got it a little bit more fun here. Let's have him say, oh my, and let's do wavy text. Why not? So I'm gonna hit this wavy text button. Yeah, this is actually, I can imagine this might be a little bit similar to HyperCard games. And remember, anything within these little brackets is gonna be wavy, so he'll just have him say, oh my. And the way a page break works is, I'll actually show you before and after. So, oh my, let's add another just regular dialogue by hitting add, dialogue, dialogue, and have him say, you found my ring. And let's just play that really quick and I'll show you what happens. So let's just, we don't need to talk to Skillo at all. Let's just go get the ring. Go back to Skillo. So he'll say, oh my, you found my ring. And you'll notice that even though we did 2 different dialogues, it's showing up in the same window and there's no spaces between them. So what we want is for him to say, oh my, and then you have to hit the button to get the next dialogue window and have it say you found my ring. So it's not just all crammed into one. So what you're actually gonna do now is we'll hit add, we'll go to dialogue, and we'll just hit page break down here. And that is gonna be the thing that you put in between both of your dialogues, and that will make it a new window. So on the page break here, you can actually hit this up button and that'll just put it up in the order here. The dialogue window works so that everything is gonna happen from the top down. So he's gonna say, oh my, there's a page break. You found my ring. So let's test that out and see if that works. Go get the ring. This is such an easy, quick game to test, isn't it? Give me the ring. Oh my, you found my ring. See, 2 different windows. We love it. We'll go ahead and hit stop for now. And then I think the next thing we did is we end the game, which is so much easier than you think. Actually, probably not. Everything's so easy so far. So, oh my, page break, you found my ring. Let's just end the game after that. So we'll hit the add button, we'll hit room actions, and we'll hit end. So the room actions is pretty cool. You can do a lot of things within the dialogue window. So we could have him send you to another room with exit. You can end the game. You can, I actually am not sure what lock or unlock does. I think that you can lock or unlock exits or doors, which is a little bit more advanced. You could even change the color palette. So if you talk to a player, they can say something and change the palette of the room, which is cool. And it can change your avatar. So like, you could talk to Skillo and he's like, here's a hat. And then you could change to an avatar of you wearing a little hat. But for now, we're just gonna end the game. So we're gonna, once more, I'm gonna hit add new, room action, end the game. Yeah, I think that Bitsy does work pretty well on mobile. It definitely is worth checking out. I should actually try it on my iPad sometime and see if, man, if it would be easy to use Bitsy on my iPad, you would never hear from me again. It would be so much fun. So yeah, and then we just put an end into the game after we talk to Skillo. So right now, again, we can just try it out because it's so quick. I think it'll just reset the game and send you to the start again. Let's take a moment to appreciate that we can't walk through these walls and that we turned the collision on. That's so great. Oh my, you found my ring. And then it ends the game. And you can hit any key and it'll just reset. But it'd be kind of fun if we did something that's just like, woohoo, you win. So after we end the game, actually, you know what we'll do? You may have noticed that it said you found my ring kind of layered over the end game screen. Let's actually add a page break. So we'll go dialogue, page break, and we'll pop that before end game. So you'll have to finish, you'll say you found my ring, press a button, the dialogue window will go away, then the game will end. So it'll just be a blank screen. But what we can do after the game ends, this is blasphemy, you can add things after the game ends. We can actually add more dialogue. So we can add something that says like, you win, and then that'll be the end of the game. Yeah, and again, feel free and check out the tutorial. We'll just linked it in chat. So let's make some dialogue here. You have won and spirit. I can't spell spirit today. Halloween is saved. Is safe. And for fun, let's make it rainbow text. So we'll hit the little rainbow button here. We'll grab that starting bracket, put it in the end here, or put it at the start. So all of this text should be rainbow, which is really fun. So, one more time. Give him the ring. Oh my, page break. You found my ring, page break. End the game, and then it shows us the fun rainbow text. All right. Get the ring. Go back. Give it to Skello. Oh my, you found my ring. You have won, and Spirit Halloween is saved. The end. Look at that. And then it will reset the game for you. And that's pretty much it. If you've followed along and you've done that, we just made a game. We have multiple sprites, we made walls, we made rooms, we made colors, we did animation, we got an item from one character and gave it to another, and we just did it. It's so cool. So we do have a little bit of time left, obviously. I think what we're gonna do is I'll take just a quick, like 2 to 5 minute break. Maybe we can come back and do a little bit of extra stuff. Like we could look at some of those other dialogue options and play around with that so you can get an idea for like some other stuff you could do. But that's kind of the basis of Bitsy. And we did that in just a little over an hour. We made that game and we kind of just learned everything about Bitsy. So pretty wild. And again, that is all in this tutorial. With, you know, different trimmings. We didn't make Spirit Halloween in the tutorial, but that's absolutely everything. And you can follow along that tutorial later as well if you want to check out or feel like you missed anything. And the last thing I'll say is our game is done. We can grab the download tool. Again, if you hit the tool button in the top right, you can see it right here. And we can download the game, and that will save our game as an HTML file onto our computer. So we can embed it in something or upload it to Bitsy again with the download tool and work on it more later. So Bitsy doesn't have, I actually looked into this. We had a question in chat if Bitsy has an option to collaborate on projects with others. You can share the HTML file, yes. So what you could do is you could download this HTML file, give it to someone else, they can upload it and they can build off of this game and then export it and import it, and you can do that however you want. There's not really a way to import other games into your game. So if somebody else made a game, I wouldn't be able to pull it into this one. There used to be a hack that worked for that, but it was years ago and I tried to get it to work and it's too outdated with this version of Bitsy now. But yes, you can collaborate in that sort of building off the same HTML file way, which is pretty fun. So I'd recommend that if you're interested in trying that out. But yeah, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break. I'm gonna get some more water and then we're gonna learn a little bit of extra stuff. And I know Will's gonna show you some other cool stuff too that he says, I don't know what it is, but he's like, I'm gonna do some cool stuff with your game in Bitsy. So yeah, we'll be right back. And I'll keep an eye on chat if anybody has any questions or is still catching up. But yeah, see you in a second. Okay, gamers, I'm back. That little thing in the be right back screen, by the way, this is very advanced. There's a version of Bitsy that somebody hacked to make Bitsy 3D, which is a whole thing I haven't even looked into yet, but I've played Bitsy 3D games and they're so cool. Yeah, one nice thing about Bitsy is that there's a lot of hacks people have made for it that do different things and like add different things, excuse me. And in our Discord in PIGSquad, in the miscellaneous channel under game engines, I've shared a bunch of the cool ones that I found. I know that other people have shared a couple as well. Like there's one I think Marty shared where you can have more than 3 colors. Like you can add as many colors as you want to your palettes, which is pretty sick. Yeah, so if you kind of play around with Bitsy and you want to check some other stuff out, that would be a great place to look, is in our Discord. And one other thing I forgot to mention is if you are just following along with this tutorial, and which feels so long, but it's mostly because there's lots of images, and you get to the end, I also posted a link at the end of this tutorial with the file of the finished game from this tutorial. So this one right here, that is, you know, it's got the cat and the smiley face and the snake and the Game Boy and all that kind of stuff. So you can just download that and import it into Bitsy and mess around with it and see how it works. If there's also anything you feel like you're missing from the process and just want to look at the game file itself, that is available to you. But yeah, so because Bitsy is so easy, and we had such a great time, and you were all amazing students and basically had no questions. We're gonna do just a couple little extra things for now. And I think what I'm gonna do is go over some of the other dialogue list options. So you may remember we made this branching list here for Skello. That was an if-else statement. So if the ring is in your inventory, do all this stuff, end the game. Otherwise, tell them to go talk to Marlowe. But there are other types of lists you can make, which is pretty cool. So let's try some of that out. I'm going to start out by, I'll just make some new sprites so we can talk to different people that use different lists and stuff like that. So I'll hit a new, I'm going to need some sprite recommendations. Hit a new sprite here. For other things that would appear in Spirit Halloween. I've got my hand over, rotten meat. Okay, we can try it. Hat, I like candy. I like candy. Yeah, why? A cauldron's good too. I'm gonna need 3, so I'll come back and pick rotten face. That's kind of Skello. So we'll just make some candy really quick. I guess like a pumpkin would be good too, huh? I feel like I'm thinking of like that candy that has like a little wrapper on the side. You know what I mean? This doesn't look right though. Candy is harder than I thought. Candy corn. Okay, thank you. That's the ticket. Candy corn is going to be easier to wrap my head around. Right? Sure. We'll just say this is candy corn. Yeah, it could also be a hat. Yeah, it gives you an instant game over. See, you would know how to do that now that we did this tutorial. So let's put candy in here. We'll go ahead and paint him in this room. This does not look like candy corn at all. Oh my god. Anyway, so let's open up his dialogue editor. We'll hit that little button here again. Candy dialogue. Go ahead and hit add. We'll do lists. And let's try, we'll go over sequence, cycle, and shuffle lists. They're pretty straightforward and they're fun to use. So we'll do sequence lists first, and it's nice because it kind of tells you exactly what's going to happen here. So it will go through each item once in a sequence. So that's basically saying like, I'm going to say 1, then I'm going to say 2, then I'm going to say 3. So we'll say I'm ... not ... candy corn. And I think that this is gonna be shaky text, because he's mad. So we'll hit the little shaky button. I think this is gonna be orange text. So I'm gonna color it the ground color, hit the color button. Make sure that I've got these brackets in the right place here. Remember, the ones with the slashes go on the end. And let's try that. Let's see what this candy corn says. I'm not. See, I'm talking to him a new time every time. So it's not like it's playing one dialogue after the other. And I come back and he says, candy corn! It's actually very funny. And then I believe if you go back, he just repeats the same thing at the end over and over and over again. Okay, yeah, that's probably a much better way to do it. I can select the text first and then, like, oh, say candy corn. Maybe also make it wavy. Yeah, it'll put the brackets on the right side. I feel like I had tried that earlier and it didn't work, but I think it was because I was doing it with my laptop and my trackpad was not very good. So that'd be a little bit easier. You don't have to move the tags so much. So that's just a sequence list. It will say 1, 2, and 3, and then after that, or however many, you can add as many as you want. Like we can have them say, we'll do, or sorry, I'm not doing this right. I need to add an option down here, and we'll just have them say, sorry about that little outburst. And maybe that's a nicer thing for him to end on. So he's not just yelling candy corn at you every single time. I'm not candy corn! And then, sorry about that little outburst. And that's what he'll repeat every time you talk to him. I actually don't know if it resets when you come and go out of a room. No, yep, it just stays the same. He's all done. So that is a sequence list. Let's make another sprite. Frankenstein is good. I think I want to try to make a cauldron. Let's try a cauldron. Bone would be very good too. Bone would be easy. I guess I'm not playing easy mode. I want to make a cauldron. So there's the top to the cauldron. Could also be like a potion bottle, I guess, huh? But cauldron have like feet, right? Maybe I'll fill it in. Yeah, that looks like a cauldron. Make sure to hit enter when you rename it because I keep forgetting that. Let's put the cauldron here. Oh, that looks good. Maybe even that's a little more cauldron-y. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I like this. This is good. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. I think it's this. The pixels, they carry so much weight. Oh, see, okay, so we're having a little bit of one of these glitches where the animations are like going so fast. Like you can see like Skelly's like, and so is the ghost. So you can make sure to refresh and then that should be all fixed. They should be moving at a good speed now. Cool, so for our cauldron, let's find our cauldron here again in the paint window if we want. We can go ahead and open their dialogue up. And let's try... Oh, it doesn't come through on stream. It's almost like I think it's moving too fast that it maybe just looks like they're paused. But yeah, it just plays the animation so fast. It's hilarious. We're going to go ahead and add, again, a list. And let's try a cycle list this time. So this will repeat the items in a cycle. So yeah, I see it higher frame rate. So we're the first one with the candy corn. It will say everything and then repeat the last item over and over again. This one will say 1, 2, go back to 1, and just repeat it over and over. So maybe we'll have the cauldron say double bubble, toil, and wubble. Stubble, toil and stubble. And we'll do stubble, and we'll copy it. We'll copy the text, and we'll do the rainbow effect, and then the rainbow tags will show up on the right thing. So let's try that out. Double, bubble, toil, and stubble. And he should just say it over and over and over again. I like how this room looks. It's very Halloween-y, I have to say. Double, bubble, toil, and stubble. And then when we talk to him again, start it over. Oh, he's so cute. I love our little cauldron. Yeah, so that's a cycle list. Nice and easy. Let's do one more. I think that we had the suggestion of making a bone, which is, I think, easy to draw, so I'm gonna do that. Name that one. I think that we're gonna do one of these. Right? Maybe this is harder than I thought. I don't do pixel art. I do not know. Gravestone would be pretty good as well. I do agree. Okay, that looks like a bone. Oh, hand coming out of the ground. Give Hando a run for his money. Yeah, that's fine. That works. We'll pop him over there. And let's open up the dialogue window here. And we'll go ahead and do a shuffle list. So a shuffle list will just pick anything you put in here at a random order. So let's maybe like, oh yeah, and I forgot, that's actually a really cool thing too, is you can have it do just like multiples. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll add an option. We'll make it 1, 2, 3. We'll say, boo la la. And we'll say, did you talk to the candy corn? And we'll say, is that how you spell animatronic? Animatronic rats are on sale. Because we're at Spirit Halloween. And let's actually do one more. Yeah, this is a pretty cool thing too, is it doesn't have to be just the one line. You can like click on this thing and then like add more. So it could say like, oh, I want him to randomly say this series of dialogue. Like you can kind of like make it really complex. It doesn't have to be just one line. Like I can click on this 2 here and say, oh, maybe if he says, did you talk to the candy corn? I can make it so that the game ends, right? Like, but we don't need to do that right now. Let's just see how that works. Did you talk to the candy corn? Animatronic rats are on sale. Ooh la la. Animatronic rats are on sale. Yep, so it's just picking a random one from the 3 different options we have there. Oh man, animatronic raptor. I bet they do have those at Spirit Halloween, honestly. And then I'm trying to think of if there's any other just kind of like cool stuff we could try out really quick. I feel like one thing that would be fun is let's try one where we maybe we'll do it in our other room, where we'll change the color palette of the room or change the avatar. Maybe we can try that out. So let's actually try changing the avatar. We can I think you have to make it into a sprite. So we'll make a sprite we'll pop a new one in here. We'll say avatar, but mad. So maybe like someone will say something to make them really mad. I'm gonna try my best to duplicate our little drawing here. I think it was something like this. I'll go back and see. This is gonna be like the bargain bin version of our okay, yeah, actually I was close. And then we've got the 1, 2, 3, and we got the eyes. 1, 2, 3. Right? Oh yeah, I did it! Okay, so avatar but mad, we'll just give him like, I don't know, angry eyes. He's mad. I don't know if this will come across, but he's mad now. And let's make sure we animate him. Oh, except I'm having this issue with our animation right now. That's fine. We have to animate it in room 1 or it doesn't count. Okay, I've actually never tried this before, so let's see if it works. Let's make a new sprite to talk to as well. Let's do just a gravestone. I like that idea a lot. Actually, let's make it a wide boy. And we'll say like this is the name and the dates or whatever. Well, it looks like a gravestone. Let's put it in our new room. Because we've got the edit and paint selected, and it's in our paint thing here. Pop that in there. And let's go to the dialogue. Let's try this out. We're learning together. Oh yeah, we should probably call this something. We'll call it gravestone. And we'll just rename this gravestone dialogue. So let's add lists. No, let's add, yeah, avatar. Make avatar, okay, that's cool. So we can morph the avatar after we talk to this character. So make avatar look like Skello, but let's make avatar look like avatar but mad, which we just made. So yeah, let's try that out. And let's also make some dialogue to play before we change it. So I'm gonna add some dialogue and be like, hey, remember that death exists? That would make me mad. And I'm actually gonna pop this up before we morph the avatar by pressing this little arrow up here. Let's see if that works. Yeah, pretty upset about death for a ghost who seems pretty chill. Hey, remember that death exists? Oh, now I'm mad. Look at me. I'm mad now. I'm gonna get my mouse out of the way. And I'm not mad when I come in here, though. Yeah, I guess it resets when you leave the room, which is pretty cool. You could do some fun stuff with that. I'll show you also another cool thing you can do is in the different rooms, you can change your avatar as well. So if I want my avatar to be different in this room, I can pick anything that we've drawn as a sprite. So I could make him look like Skello in this room, which is pretty cool. And he will remain ghost in the first room because that's our default. But look, now I'm Skello. That's a fun little drop down, isn't it? And then I think the last thing I'll do, and then I'll hand it off to Will for a while, is I'm gonna go through, yeah, actually, really great point. That would be a really cool way to sort of treat something as an overworld versus a town, is you could have a different sprite in your overworld that is like even smaller. Like maybe you're literally just a dot and like there's big trees everywhere. Like you could actually play with scale, which would be pretty cool. We'll just put this on another gravestone. I won't draw. Actually, no, I do have to draw another one. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this gravestone just so we can put some new dialogue in it and give it new dialogue. We're going to add a room action and let's change the color palette. So we're going to change the room's current palette to Spirit, which is our orange and black one. And I'm gonna add a little dialogue that just says, I like the other colors better. And let's make sure to put our gravestone in our room with the edit and paint button and have it selected. And let's try that out. We're really losing the plot. We're becoming a skeleton in the other room. We talk to this gravestone and we get mad. We talk to this one and he says, I like the other colors better. So yeah, that's just a couple of the little extra things you can do. There's even more you can do, but there's just a lot of different options in the dialogue window, and I would recommend playing with them all. It's really easy to pick up, and they also, like, what's nice is that when you say something like swap palette, it literally just tells you what it does. Like, there's not really any guesswork involved here. So yeah, that's our game. It's a couple extra options. We tried a bunch of different dialogue types. We changed our avatar from room to room. We changed our avatar after we talked. We changed the color palettes. We did a lot here. And imagine even adding more rooms and doing more stuff. The possibilities are endless. Cool. So I'm going to hand it off to Will for a while. I'm going to put us on the Be Right Back screen, have him pop on. He's going to show you a little bit about the music editor and the sound editor, and then do a little bit of extra surprise stuff, is my understanding, on this game that we are working on. So I'm going to take off for a second, but I'll be in chat, and I'll see you all in just a little bit.
So we're going to be doing some stuff. First off, I was watching the workshop pretty well, but I do need to familiarize myself just a little bit to make sure I know what I'm dealing with here. Of course, I know about our spooky little friend. We got I'm Not Candy Corn. Sorry for the outburst. Okay, that does not end the game. I was wondering if that actually did that. Double bubble. Toil and stubble. Oh, good joke. Mr. Cauldron. Oh, go talk to Handlow. Oh my god, the sound actually freaked me out for a second. Look at this fun bone. Boo la la. Let's go into a door, and we find ourselves. Oh, we're Skello now. That's right. Give me this. Give me a hand. Pass this ring along to Skello. Okay, so we got a ring. One thing I'm thinking about here is I know that some people, when they do their inventory, I'm not like critiquing Marlowe or anything, just saying maybe a hint for Bitsy. After, conceptually you think about, hey, Handlow here is saying this dialogue to us, and this dialogue is coming from Handlow when we look at our dialogue from Handlow. But think about this one. Maybe we want to say a dialogue that says, you received a ring, which might help the player understand that they have picked up the ring and that is actually in their inventory. And of course, we won't want that to persist the whole time. Give me the ring. Did it say that? Oh yeah, you received a ring, but I didn't line break that. So, anyways, just a fun tip. Oh yes, we have been talking about an Exquisite Corpse Bitsy. I see people talking about that in chat. I am going to host one of those after this workshop. So stay tuned. I'll be posting in the miscellaneous channel in the PIGSquad Discord about that, and we can make some stuff together. I think it'll be fun. Okay, we got our ring. This is Skillo. Oh my, you found my ring. You have won. Spirit Halloween is saved. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think I have a good understanding of the game. Oh, I'm mad. I like the other colors better. I have a renewed understanding of what this game is like. But we're gonna do a couple of things in addition to this. We are going to be working with some sound effects. We're going to be working with the music editor, and then we are going to be using a tool that is actually a hack that is not a part of the regular Bitsy engine that I heard Marlowe say was could be very complex, very difficult, but I looked into it in about 20 minutes before this workshop, and I don't think it's quite that difficult. And we're going to play with it, and I think it's going to blow your minds. It blew my mind. You can't wait for it. That's all I'll say. But you're going to have to, because first, we have to do a little setup here. There's a couple things I want to do. Of course, we're going to be doing some music and stuff, but I also want to make another room that allows us to get going on the new concept that I'm thinking about. So I'm going to make a room, and I'm going to call it Parking Lot. And I think these colors aren't so bad, but let's flip these, actually. I'm going to go black background with an orange color for... Well, let's actually do... No, yeah, orange is good. And then sprite can be white. I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and get some of these tiles together so that we can... tile. Let's get some blocks going. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually going to make a fence. And we're going to make a parking lot here, and the plan is that we are going to maybe more like a spooky gate. We are going to make a fence that is going to be bordering this lot, and we're probably going to come from here. Oops! Oh, dang it! I just realized I just overwrote Marlowe's Spirit Halloween background. That's okay. This is a test game. I'm sure she's not offended. And we're going to just keep rolling with this. And yeah, thanks for the tips, Starstew. Yeah, being able to use the find tool is really, really helpful. But yeah, so we're going to use a fence for, honestly, let's do here and here. Let's make a little exit out the top, and then we will go to our new lot and say, let's see, that is the center here. I'm going to want that to line up with these. Actually, I don't think that lines up at all. Yep, okay. Now it'll line up, and we're just going to say, yep, this is a big parking lot. And we're going to make a new goal here, and our goal is to be interacting with all of the characters that we have throughout our game already, and build a new Spirit Halloween for the grand opening. That is my plan as of a couple of minutes ago. I think if this is a parking lot, we're going to need a couple of parking spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. That's where we're going to park our little cars, because everyone wants to shop at our Halloween store. Actually, let's make it even parking spots. Let's be good little urban planners, please. And actually, you know what? We're going to do this so that... Oh wait, we don't want to do that. We want to do that for these end pieces, but then let's actually make another tile here like this to replace here. So there we go. We've got our parking lot going on this side, and then I don't care about the other side, so I'm not going to fill that in right now. Giant scissors sprite incoming, yes, because we have to cut the black and orange ribbon when we open up our new location, of course. And just for now, I'm going to pop another tile here, and I'm going to make it kind of just, let's do one border here. Let's do another border here. Note that I'm creating new sprites as I go along, or I'm duplicating them, so that I can use the bits from the other sprites. I'll make a new one here and make this wall, and then I'll make a new one here and make this wall. Of course, we'll get a door going and everything like that. We, of course, remember, have to make an exit and entrance to allow us to go in and out of this place. So we're going to make another exit. It's going to be two-way. This one is going to start here. Oops. It's going to move. It's going to start here. And then it is going to return us to here. Oops. There. We don't want a right here, so actually, that must have placed it. Yep. And then we're going to want... Oh, wait a second. Did I just change the... Is this... Did I accidentally replace our other thing? Let me see. Okay, so we did do this. Okay, but we... Oh, no. We're good. No, we're good to go. I don't quite know why... Oh, I think it's because each of these exits is in each of these rooms, maybe? But they all work, so I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that's what you're commenting on, Stars 2, but I think I've found my way out of that one. We're going to do another exit and ending. We're going to do it here. Oops. Every time. This way of moving your exits and entrances is actually new to me. I have not played with Bitsy since a update from a while ago. Okay, so let's see how we do this. If we go, we're gonna come in the left side here, go back, we're gonna go on the right side here. So if you ever wanna do some sort of long doorway or something like, or sorry, wide doorway or something, then you can, you'll have to set it up in this way to where you want it to look consistent where you're going in and out here, and you can make that work. So that's kind of fun. I'm also going to make sure that I cannot pass by these tiles here. We of course have this tile here that represents the bottom of the building. We're not going to want to go up onto there, so I'm going to mark that a wall. I'll make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see on the stream. And then I'm also going to want that for my fences. And there we go. Cool. Okay, so we are now setting ourselves up. I really find it helpful to set yourself up to for success, to get like some of your art down first, and then kind of move through and apply your effects and everything like that. I think that could be one of the solutions to the door problem that we were discussing earlier, where we place where we want our entrances and exits to be, but then kind of forget where they might be. If you put art there first, then you might not forget that. Cool, looks like I can't whack through my fences, which means I can't leave the parking lot. We have some parking spaces over here, and this will eventually be our Spirit Halloween. But we're going to be doing something a little special with that, so I'm just going to leave it blankety blank for now. Yeah, P.S. if anybody has questions for me, just let me know. I know I'm going really fast, but I'm also, I'm working with stuff that you already know. You're already past this point. Yeah, I think I have everything set up here. But you know what? We're going to start nice and smooth in our music and sound editor. We're of course going to use the tools up in the top right hand corner to see what kinds of things that we can look for. And we're going to pop open the Blip-O-Matic real quick. And the Blip-O-Matic is the tool that Bitsy uses for sound effects. I'm actually a little bit disappointed because there was a big update to Bitsy recently. There was a big thing around how this sound effect generator would, one, generate a sound effect, and then two, you could kind of like tune it or play with it. It has since become more of just a generator, but you know what? It's still really fun. There's some presets that you can use with it to do some really, really fun stuff. And Marlowe was talking about the the sounds that some of the characters make in the game here, such as going over and talking to the hand, and the hand saying "yarg." So, what could we do to maybe simulate a yarg sound? Just so you know, this will be louder sound effects, probably about the same volume as my voice, so don't be too surprised. Currently, we start off with the meow sound effect. Let's play that really quick. Meow. So the way that you use this sound effect generator, the Blip-O-Matic here, if you go to the generator, you can pick from a list of presets here to say what you want the kind of sound effect to be, and then at that point you can take that sound effect, pitch it up and down, change the length, and change the speed. There are two special use cases to that, and that is mutate and random. Random will just generate a random one, and mutate will make a blip from the current, a sound effect from the current sound effect that you're on, and just kind of change it up a little bit. And so how you use this is you pick the preset that you want, and then you just make a new sound. So basically it's about making a ton of different sounds and then kind of picking the ones that you actually want to use. So let's try that out. Let's generate, even though I'm on the meow sound right now, I'm going to move the generator to pickup, and then when I create a new sound, that will be some sort of pickup sound. So let's do that. That's a pickup sound, I guess. So here we go. That's kind of a spooky pickup sound. That might be the sound of a ring, perhaps. A ring coming from a gross little hand. That's actually maybe a good yarg sound effect. I'm actually going to call that yarg really quick because we can use that. But let's generate another one. I'm going to, again, to make a new sound, I have to pick the type of sound I want to generate with the generator. So let's do a greeting sound effect. And then I'm going to hit plus to make a new sound effect based on the greeting set here that I have selected for the generator. And dee greetings. And so now that I have this greeting, I can play it over and over again. And I'm actually going to play with it a little bit. I think this is maybe too sad of a greeting for what I want. So I'm going to pitch it up a little bit and see if that helps. Still a little somber, but a little bit better maybe. I don't know. That's a good skello sound effect, I think. So we can try that. We can make it a little bit longer too. Needle. Maybe make it a little faster. Okay, so that's the attack of the sound effect. The first hit that you get is reducing in speed because of this. I'm actually going to close this window for now. Look at other stuff. This one too. Move this away. Actually, just get rid of it. We can always open and close our windows in the tools menu in the top right-hand corner. And yes, you can play sounds from the dialogue window. So I'm going to call this one Skello Greeting, and go with that. Let's try one more sound effect. Let's try a door sound effect, right? We're going to be going in and out of a door. So actually, I don't know quite if you can do that when you hit a spot. It might just be related to starting dialogue, actually. I think so, actually. So yeah, let's just stick to talking to characters. Let's make a brewing sound that comes out. Maybe a disappointing brewing sound that happens when the cauldron says stubble, because bubble, bubble, boil, and stubble is not something a player expects. And the cauldron is telling us a very funny joke at the time. So let's maybe get a little bit of a wah-wah in there. So I'm going to pick my preset, and I'm going to call that a magic. sound effect. Sometimes those can be a little spooky or, you know, going up or down. So let's actually do that, and let's make a new sound effect here based on this magic generator. Okay. So that was a magic. So I didn't quite like that magic. So I'm going to generate a couple more magics and see which ones I like. That's kind of fun. That's pretty good. Ooh, that's good. Okay. If we want some womp womp sound effect when our cauldron tells a bad joke, I think that's good. Okay. So I'm going to just delete these other ones. Because I just do not need them or want them. You can really overload yourself with a lot of sound effects that you might not want. If you just keep generating, because that's the way to do them. Pitch it up a little bit, maybe. I like that lower one. Thanks for joining, Camille. Very good to see you in the chat. And thanks for making games. Very excited to see what you make. Cool. So, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say this. Cauldron. Oops. Cauldron. Cauldron joke. It fell flat. Whoop. I'm gonna be honest. I love this sound effect, but we're gonna try something a little bit different here, where we're actually going to see if we can get something like this cauldron sound effect, but not quite this exact same thing. So I'm gonna go to the generator and I'm gonna pick mutate. So that is actually, normally when we pick something from the generator, we are going to start a new sound, and it is going to be a pickup sound or a greeting sound or a bloop sound. With the mutate, we are actually going to be taking our current sound effect and we are going to be just kind of tweaking it a little bit. And in a similar way, you can keep generating sound effects to see. Yeah, it's very much like hitting the random button in the Dark Souls character creator. So this is going to create new tracks based on this cauldron joke. And then the next one, if we pick another mutate, it's going to pick something based on the last one we did. And so it'll slowly move away from the sound effect, but start from the same base. So let's see what that sounds like. Here's our original. Let's try this one. It's a little different. Way faster. Something changed. Ooh, that's spooky. Sounds very spooky. I'm just gonna call this spooky because I do like this sound effect. It's not the one I was looking for, but I'm glad I mutated. Again, the only other kind of special one here is in this Blip-O-Matic is the random sound generator, and that will be random. If you've ever played with BFXR, another tool similar to this, but with a lot more control. Random can get you some wild stuff. Sometimes it doesn't even appear to be anything but like a very high-pitched buzz that you can barely hear. So let's just try some random ones really quick. Nice little beat. Spooky. Ooh. That was spooky too. Oh. They're not playing anymore. I wonder if we have to refresh. Whoa, that one's cool. That one's like a curse sound effect. I'm gonna call that one curse. Woo! That's spooky. Well, that's like a wasp. I'm just gonna save some of these because they might come in handy later. This is my wasp sound effect. What's this one? Okay, I don't care for that one so much, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. These are all, again, just random sound effects. That's creepy, but I think there's a couple things that I don't care for in it. Same with that one. So I'm just gonna clean up here for a second. Clean up, clean up. Clean up, clean up. Okay, this is our first random one. At least it names them random. so that it's really easy to tell. Just make sure to name your stuff as you go. It'll be really helpful for you when you are thinking about deleting and cleaning up your sound effects. I think I liked this one, so I'm gonna call it Wubble, because it goes wubble. Oops, I just bonked the mic and wobbled myself. Dang it. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna delete these other mutations, which were variants on my cauldron joke not landing. So let's actually put these in the game. Wobble, wobble. Oh, hitting tab is a fast way to commit the value. That's nice. Cool. Oh yeah, that's true. Using the find window could be a good way to delete things fast. I just deleted everything, but yeah, if you go to your sound effects, I'll move this over so it's easier to see. I would be able to go to my blips and see all of these and potentially quickly delete them if I'm noticing that all of the names are things that if I didn't put a specific name on it, then I can delete it kind of vibe. That'd be a good cleanup method for sure. So yeah, let's see what this sounds like when we put in these sounds in the game. I don't remember what we had. We had, oh, Yarg from the hand. Yarg. Okay, so we gotta find our Yarg dialogue. So yeah, let's just use the find window again. We have our, let me see, yeah. Those are typed to avatar, to sprites. And we have Handlow. And Handlow has some dialogue here, so let's pop that out. And we're going to tell Handlow to Yarg when that's a blip, by the way, because that is the sound effect from the Blip-O-Matic. You can see here all of the sound effects that we have generated. So we're going to get a Yarg going in here. Oh yeah, well, there's lots of stuff you can do there. Cool. So we're going to add that one. Oh, I just think I said to add another thing. And we're going to, I believe we can drag that stuff up. Let's see. Oh no, we can't. How do I do this? I don't remember. Oh, we move it up like this. Okay, so we got a Yarg. Let's look for oh no, let's do the cauldron. Let's do our sound actions, play a blip, and remember we made a sound specifically for the cauldron joke falling flat. So let's play that kind of as that sound effect starts up. Oh, I think we actually might not be able to do that until we put it inside of this cycle. So let's actually delete that blip that we just added, and let's add that actually in this cycle. Let me see. Did I just have a plus here? Oh, if I open this cycle, wait a second. I thought I just had it. Oh, I guess I'm tying this sound action to the point at which the cauldron says stubble. Sweet. Okay, so let's do a blip. Again, that's a sound effect. And we're gonna have our cauldron joke. It is not gonna land for us. Let's just try those two real quick. Marlowe Adobe presents Spirit Halloween 2023. Let's hear our cauldron. Let's see if our cauldron's joke falls flat when they tell it at the end. Double bubble. Toilet and stubble. I think that worked. That was pretty fun. Okay, well, that was good. Haha, stubble. What a jerk. That was hilarious, though. Ha! Okay, let's see if the Yarg comes through when we talk to Handlow. Yarg! Give me a hand and pass this ring along. So note that that happened before, right before the text. Kind of fun, and that is because if we look at Handlow's dialogue here, we are seeing that we play Yarg, then we open into Yarg, could you give me a hand, the item, blah, blah, blah. There actually may be a way to play a sound directly in here, but I don't know that. I'm feeling pretty good about this already. So let's keep it. Let's stick with it. Cool. Okay, so that's some sound effects. We have a lot of really great sound effects here that we can use for other things. I gotta hear that curse again. Oh, so spooky. I love it. I got my Spirit Halloween shirt on, so you gotta love it. But remember, we have this parking lot here, and that is I'm gonna cop out on music just a little bit, but we're gonna open up the Tune tool here, and here, oops, there we go. Boing. We are going to close our Tools tab really quick, shuffle over. And here we have our music. We're going to actually stop our background music here so that we can listen to what it looks like to have a song run in Bitsy. This one's actually pretty simple, this finale fanfare. So you're noticing it's looping every 4. Do. That's what we just saw. Pass through. Do. I'm clicking along to see where the bars are. Loop it. So no, I'm manually clicking above here on these squares. And this line, this vertical running line, is moving horizontally over the notes to play them. And then the backup, the harmony, is actually represented here, and these are single notes here, and they are actually strumming here. You can strum a chord, you can strum a chord down. If you are playing with these editing, these fields as a song is playing, it will sometimes totally mess up, or it will pick back up on the next bar. When I'm talking here about following along with the song, when I was clicking through, we play this part first, we play this part first, we play this, or sorry, play this part first, this place next, this part next, this part next, this part next, and each of these is a bar that completes the song. And when we play the last bar, it loops to the beginning, but that is also because we have the loop function selected here. So, yeah, again, we can play it and follow along. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, loops. And that's common in video games. Just having music loop is a great way to do it. You should probably end most of your songs in a way that trails into allowing the song to pick right back up. It's a great idea here for Bitsy, and it's actually not super hard to pull off. I'll show you why. There are some great tools in here that let you pull that off pretty quickly if you are not confident in making music. But then there is also it's also very, very normal to let a song loop and go back to the beginning. And sometimes you might not even need to have a very long theme. Notice that this finale fanfare is not very long. It's only 4 bars. There's some these are also, by the way, preloaded in the Bitsy project. So you can play with these yourself. The Rhythmic Runes and Tuneful Town are a lot more complex, and they're a bit longer. Note when we look at the harmony here, see this is the melody and this is the harmony. In the other song, it was the do, and down here was the. The reason it was doing the up and down is because it was doing those arpeggios. We can actually play with that real quick. So it's one note that's being drawn here. And the reason that it is alternating is because we do have this strum interval selected. If we select different things, an arpeggio in music is taking core 1, 3, 5 notes in a chord, 1, 3, 5 and high 1, octave up, to kind of like go up and down. which typically makes a nice background fill, as you can see in here, kind of doing the octave here. Can really make that nice. See if we highlight our notes here. This is our piano essentially. Up here we're at a C, and now here we're at a C, and then a G plays. This is probably written in G, I would assume. No, I think that's in C. But regardless, if we look at our rhythm here, our harmony, then we can actually play with how those arpeggios are messed with. So let's do that really quick. So go ahead and listen. No strum. Cool. Let's try a chord going up. Again, this is the 1, 3, 5 and high 1. See, we're strumming the chord up. And the 1, 3, 5 is C, E, and G for the C chord. We can go downwards. And actually, these notes are where this is playing, where the chord is ending. So that's pretty interesting. And let's do a small strum interval. Okay, so this is the difference between the 1 and the 5 note and the 1 and the 8, or 1 and 1. So you'll see there's a big gap here when I say strum interval big, a small interval here. You can kind of hear it too. Hank hates this song. Poor Hank, I'm sorry. So yeah, the reason that this is made very easy for you as somebody who wants to write a song is that one, there are you can draw sound effects in here. Click to insert selected blip as a note. Okay, how do I do that? Can I click this? I want my curse. It might be a little too long, but okay, I'll have to play with that a little bit. I was wondering what that was earlier, or just playing with notes right now. One thing that makes it really easy here for you to be able to compose a song without knowing a bunch about music is that when you go to the style menu right here, you notice that, of course, we have speed, we have a cheery or a gloomy mood, and this is using chromatic chords or flatting certain notes, probably the 3rd note and the 7th note, to make something a different key. But note that we have major, minor, full minor, and chromatic scales here. Major is pretty simple. You are using notes that are found in that key, and it looks like here we are allowing 5 notes here. The C scale going C, D, E, no F here, but there's G, A, back to C. So we're actually skipping B and F here, which can be, those are the notes that could be, or sorry, that's 4th and 7th. 4th and 7th can be messed around with to change the mood. So I'm assuming they play with that a little bit when they go gloomy. Minor is making things flat, or sharp, so G sharp here. This is, if we go into the minor key, it's going to sound kind of sad or scary. Ooh, sounds like a boss theme. So yeah, that was the, I also hit gloomy for the mood. We can, see, that's actually what it is. Look, if I pick cheery, it is in the major key. But if we pick gloomy, it's going to push it right down to the minor key. So, yep, makes sense. But note when we're looking at this, either cheery or gloomy, look how few notes are available here. If we're looking at a true chromatic scale where you have all of the notes available to you, it's a lot to work with. I actually don't even know if this is a full chromatic scale. Oh, it is actually, because you can do sharp. Oops, I don't want to mess with it. Oops. Okay, well, I messed with it. I screwed it all up. But then, yeah, that's also the difference between full major and full minor. So I would say mess with or play with major and minor at first when you're getting comfortable with making games, because major will typically always give you something cheery, and then it leaves it up to you to come up with the rhythm, size of the notes, maybe the instrumentation, and then you can get a little bit more complex by doing some special things in a full major or full minor key, and then chromatic. Every note is available to you, so that is when things get complicated and you need to maybe know a little bit more about music to get that going. Instruments are also kind of fun. Remember, I did mess with this song, but you can change the tone here. I think stuff might mess up, but we'll see. Oh yeah, they get slow and fast if you mess with it while it's running. So a little bit of a different instrument there. A little clippier, a little bit blippier. Let's try this. Okay, a much deeper sound if you go to the instrument and change this tone when we are in the bass or harmonic track. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, you can do some wild stuff. I mean, the rhythmic runes are totally sick. Let's just listen to the song really quick and note that this is, as we just discovered, this is in a full chromatic scale. Notice that a lot of the notes are short and long, so we are getting a lot about, we're learning a lot about rhythm in this song probably. And then note, the one thing I did not talk about is that these are your octaves. So depending on how high or how low you want this piano roll to be, these will be highlighted differently. So let's play this really quick and listen to the rhythmic ruins song. Follow along too. Note that they are not using the rhythm for the harmony section. They are actually putting notes in the harmony themselves, so they do not have the arpeggios running, so this is quite a bit more difficult as well to do. Pretty freaking cool though. Actually don't know why the strum is not even visible on that song. If we go to, because we could throw a strum on it. Oh, maybe you have to do something with the note specifically to make it do that, but I'm not sure. We would have to explore. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a new bar. And then I'm going to make a long note here and see if it lets me do it. Nope. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't let me do that. Cool. I'm going to delete that bar. So, okay. Why are we talking about all this? Hi. No, I did not make this music or the Bitsy engine, but we are going through a tutorial right now to make stuff work out. Trying to learn this ourselves and make a game about Spirit Halloween. So let's remember, I need to hear our sound effects again because it's fun. Double bubble boyland. Ha! Good one. Okay, so we're gonna we've got our different rooms here. We turned into Skello and we want to go get our ring. And then we go up here and we have our Spirit Halloween. So I think we should maybe make something, make a little track for this little parking lot. Let's see if we can make something kind of spooky and or desolate, or if our goal is to get some stuff together to build a Spirit Halloween, maybe we should start off by saying, hey, we don't have what we need, so maybe this is just kind of desolate. We're probably just going to end up using the ring. But let's see here. We got to make a new song. So I'm going to call this Parking Lot. And this is the hard part, right? This is, or I guess I should say, this is kind of a scary part, is I've made a song, I've called it Parking Lot, but now I'm staring at this thing where it's just like, oh boy. We have a track with just everything is blank. Where do I even start? I would say, just to recommend, I would first maybe think about your style. Think about if something is gloomy or cheery. I'm actually going to go gloomy for this. I'm going to go medium fast because I kind of know my mood, right? I'm like, hey, we're going to be in a parking lot. Things are a little desolate. So let's start at a minor key. And I want to do this kind of quickly too, and just get this track out there because we have one more very special thing to look at today. So I'm going to go into the kind of light minor key rather than a full minor key so that I have less notes to work with, which will kind of in turn make it a little bit easier to work with and make something sound together and good. So yeah, let's get this going. I'm going to actually start with the rhythm this time. And I'm going to take a note from the finale fanfare track here. And I'm going to make some notes. Actually, where was that? Oh, so I'm going to be in the strum interval, and I'm going to be in a strumming mood. Oops, actually, wrong track. We want to go down to the bass. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. It's pretty good. It's a nice little chord progression to keep us a little creepy, a little sad, a little somber. I think I should change those around a little bit. And you know what? I'm actually thinking they should be a little... let's do a little bit more of a... What am I doing here? Pose. Oh yeah, let's change our strum interval. I'm going to try a couple things. Let's do a chord going down, actually. Ooh, that's pretty fun. Okay, let's start over here at the beginning of our song. Did I leave the oven on? That's my favorite song. Okay, I actually don't like how that ends. Uh-oh, I want to get more complicated already. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go to full minor really quick. I shouldn't be doing this because we'll see if I screw myself up. But what do we got so far? We got... Okay, you know what? Actually, I'm going to speed this song up a bit too, so that we can listen through it faster. Okay, I think that's what I was going for. Let's listen to this real quick. Sure. Let's try that out. Oh my god, yeah, that Stranger Things song, exactly. So let's try, actually, you know what? Let's do one more thing really quick to set the tone, because we're going to be listening to this for a second. Let's think about the instrument that we're using. So I'm going to click this instrument button, and while I am in my harmony with this arpeggio, I'm going to try another one. Okay, that one's really deep. Okay, I think I like this one. Oh, no, I don't think I do. Unless I change the octave, maybe? Oh, no. We're already at the lowest octave. I think it's seeming like Bitsy puts you at the lowest octave to start with, when I'm in the harmony, because that's supposed to kind of be the bass line. So that makes sense. Let's try this one, this instrument. I don't know. I think I actually like her first one. Cool. Let's do that. Okay. So now that we have our bass line, we can make a melody or harmony. Sorry, melody. And yeah, I don't have many notes to play with here, so I'm just gonna, I've got a little bit of an idea here, but let's just keep going. Let's try this. Meant to make that way slower. Nope. I always get way too far ahead of myself when I do. Okay, I want to go dee, 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 dee. So that will be it. Oops, crap. There we go. Cool, okay, that's what I wanted to do. Copy my rhythm. Yeah, dance party in the Spirit Halloween parking lot. That's right. The octaves to make sure that they go a little bit lower. Let's try this. Wait, that was C, right? Yep. Go the lowest. Actually, that'd be good. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Sorry, just changed my octaves real quick. Okay, sorry, I had a little idea in my head. So let's see if this... Oh, okay, actually, I got one more thing to do for effect. I want to make these notes a little bit longer. Now that I've redrawn them, it looks like I need to redo the octave really quick. Okay. Let's try this out. Let's see how it sounds. I had a little bit of an idea in my head. But yeah, check this out. I'm going for something a little bit more Staccato, I'm just using small notes. That can be kind of nice just to try to feel your way around and see if you can come up with some ideas. But let's try this out. Okay, that's not quite what I want. Okay, I think the octave actually shouldn't change too much. Sometimes if you make your melody notes too low, they will, especially with kind of square, chiptune style instruments, because of the way that everything is just kind of a square wave, they will interact with each other and like sound like they're doubling up, or they'll just kind of make a weird sound that's unintended. It can be really cool sometimes, but sometimes it just doesn't work. And in my case right here, I don't feel like it was working for me. So let's try this one more time. I'll just change the octave. It's seeming to not, if I'm doing a staccato note up front, just note that every time I'm pushing play the first time, I'm having to push play another time because I'm seeming to not play the first note on my first play. Must just be a little bit of a Bitsy hiccup, but that's why I'm pushing it twice. So let's just get this out. Okay, that's kind of fun. Not exactly what I wanted, but let's see if this is... Okay, cool, fun enough. Yeah, a little somber. Let's actually see really quick if making it go slow does anything for us. Medium speed, I should say. Okay, it's pretty fun. Let's try the instrument too. Let's try this out. It's pretty fun. I don't like that one. Okay, let's try. This is just all personal preference. But I'm gonna go tone 4 here. Note that these tones are all composed, as you can see here, of different square waves with different lengths. I forget what the length is called. And so this is especially true that if you have your notes on in an octave overlapping the notes in your bass tracks, then they will overlap and kind of cause weird sounds. Let's see. There's one more thing I wanted to try out. Oh yeah, let's try a chord up really quick. See if that goes a different way for us. Let's check it out. Let's listen one more time. One thing, I'm trying to change key halfway through this, so that's one thing that's not sounding right to me. And I'm trying to think if there's a way to make that work for me. If I can do something like, oh, I can't because I have this specific. Okay, I'm actually going to change the melody to just do this, which I think is what I wanted in the first place. Okay, let's try one more thing. I am, figuring out what sounds good is really a big part of the battle. You can do it so much better if you understand music theory, which is mostly about, a lot of it is about understanding what I'm talking about here with the keys and understanding which notes are a part of which scales, and then understanding how scales are numbered and then moving between those scales and like which scales move into what and how things resolve with your ears and all that other kind of thing. There's actually a very interesting video about that in the recent Truffle Hunter newsletter. Sorry, not the recent Truffle Hunter newsletter, but in the free version that's out from PIGSquad right now. So if I know we've posted it fairly recently in Twitter, so if you cruise back there, you'll find that link. But yeah, that's a core thing about finding something that sounds good. But even just when it comes to composing a song that you want to be catchy or that you don't want to be catchy, and or something that, not only do you have to pick the chord, the key to understand your kind of mood, like your melody and your rhythm and everything can influence that too. So try my best. I think live composing is difficult, but I think I'm pretty happy with something that we have here right now. But yeah, let's listen one more time, see how this goes. I think I've fixed everything up with my chord progression. I'm still changing the chord progression halfway through over here. But that's okay. I'm just going to roll with it. And this is now going to be the theme of my parking lot. Let's go to the tune here. Currently, we have the tunes off. We're going to go to parking lot. Great song name. And we're going to play our game really quick and see if that works appropriately. So we have Marlowe Dobie presents Spirit Halloween 2023. I'm of course not Marlowe Dobie, but I'm a collaborator on her game. Actually, I have to hear that sound effect one more time. Cauldron, give me a joke. Double bubble, toil and stubble. Oh man, kills me every time. Okay, let's see. Let's go in here. Wow, such mood, such mood. Oh my gosh, it is too moody in that parking lot, guys. I'm going to go inside where it's quiet. Cool. Well, there we go. We have a song playing in our parking lot. There's one thing I really want to do. I'll do that a little bit later. Actually, very soon. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, that's the vibe of a Spirit Halloween parking lot. Empty. The building is blank. We got it going on. Cool. That's great. We are going to now look into something that is, as we said earlier, a little bit more advanced. But if you play with it in the right way, you can really make it work for you. I'm here. Sorry, I'm going to play music again too. I am here, I'm going to talk, but I am going to hide the screen for a second because I need to get some stuff set up. Oops. Wrong thing. Also, how's everybody doing right now? We having a good time? What is the subject matter of what people are working on right now? I'd love to know. Because of course we have our fun. Oh, you're working on a costume change right now. Nice. We have our fun stuff going on with Spirit Halloween in the world of Marlowe and Will, but I'm curious how everybody is feeling about what they are working on now. What they are working on. Let's see, a couple more things to do here. I'm actually going to download my project because I have to make sure I do an extra little save. Let's see. That's the. Where is that? Oh, game data. Nope, not game data. Download. There we go. Download my game. Show it to me. Give it to me. That's my best Tommy Wiseau impression. Oh yeah, Marlowe's working on a game called Mr. Riches, and it's about who gets riches. You can actually look at that a little bit too if we want. Okay. Starsu's working on a game that has to do with scaling, and I'm wondering if that has to do with a mountain scale, if we're talking math, or if we're getting a dragon in the mix here. We'll see. Riches. If you have never seen the trailer for Crawl, that multiplayer pixel art game, it's so funny when the guy says riches. Oh, cool. Starsu's working in scaling in the size sense. Well, I hope both a dragon and its scales and a mountain and scaling a mountain are both involved in your game. Okay, let's do this. What did I do here? Okay, that is... Whoops. Making sounds. Okay. Hopefully renaming your HTML files doesn't screw stuff up. We'll see. It doesn't seem to. Okay. I think we got it. We've got it going on. Sorry, I got to do a little bit Backstreet Voice for everybody. Travel in space, visiting planets, entering buildings. Oh man, yeah. So that's what Starcy's working on. That stuff is so fun to mess with in top-down 3D, or sorry, top-down 2D games, especially when you're working with limited palettes, because there's so much cool stuff you can do with that. Okay, are you all ready to see what we're gonna do next? Dun dun dun. Check it out. 3, 2, 1. We're going to be working a little bit in Bitsy 3D because look at that. Already, things are astoundingly neat. How cool. So you can click and drag. If you go to this URL, which I'm posting from Marlowe's account right now, you may just straight up upload. Yeah, the floaty sprite pipe is so fun. You may straight up upload your game, and it will just be your game, but it will be in here. I actually, you know what, realized, looking at the tools, I don't even know if music is a thing in this, because this was probably made before music was invented in Bitsy. Yeah, it is, actually. So we do not, unfortunately, have sound in here. So keep that in mind and make sure to always back up copies of your stuff. I have 2 copies of this game sound saved right now. One is from when Marlowe first saved it, which I assume was at the end of her part of the stream. And then I have a version that I saved out here so that I can save over it from this 3D side. Honey, I voxeled the kids. That's right. And let's actually play really quick and see what this looks like. So note that we see what we are doing here in our normal Bitsy view, but over here we see what the 3D game is like. And we can go over and we can talk to, oh, looks like, yep, okay. Yeah, this is a new version of Bitsy, or the version of Bitsy that we were working with is new. So there are going to be some things that do not work in here. But that's okay. I would just say if you are wanting to work on a 3D project, then maybe start in the 3D project. And as Wootmaster is talking about here, then we might want to hack in the sound tools in an older build. But look at that, doors work. We're able to go and we were trying to do our yard blip here. Maybe we did receive the ring. Let's see. Oh my, we found it and we won the game. Yeah, look at that. A couple dialogue things like line breaks weren't working as well. But yeah, check this out. It's pretty cool. We've got our parking lot here, but you know what? There's something wrong with this parking lot. And that is these fences. They're just not doing it for me because they are actually forming kind of blocks here, right? So, let's check this out. We can... Oh yeah, changes in play mode, might not save, so let's get out of there. Let's change our sprite. What is our sprite? Let's go to our... I really like the items floating like this. We're going to keep those that way. That is a billboard type sprite. I don't know what our main character is. Our main character is a plane, so note that when we rotate things, the items here are always facing us. Items and sprites, but our character we can actually see on a different plane. They are cut back, and that is because they are assigned as a plane. If we assign them as a billboard here, then they will always face us. That's what billboarding is. It's a common term used When working in games. That is, when something is billboarding at you, it is always looking at you. It is also the term that we refer to when we are talking about how Hank, our cat, runs at us and wants to attack us. He goes on his side like this, and he runs towards you like this. We refer to that as billboarding, of course. And check this out. If we go back over to our other room here, our parking lot, we got some neat stuff here. Look at this. The building is a little bit 3D. Of course, we do not quite want our fences to be like this. But look at that parking lots. The parking spaces. Those are part of the floor layer, and that's actually really neat, and that is actually something that we need to fix for another one of our sprites here. We have the door here, and the door is, at the moment, I believe, a tile. Yep, it is tile B. It is on the floor layer, but let's go ahead and make that a billboard as well. So now the door's standing up, and it looks more like we can enter the door. So that's pretty neat. We can now walk over to it and check out the door. We see here how we can lay our sprites down. But there's another thing. I brought this up earlier, but we still haven't solved this issue, and that is the fences. They're just kind of like building blocks. Let's actually change those fences. We have one tile for fences. That is one thing that's kind of interesting about this, is that a lot can go. It can be very time intensive to set layers up and everything like that. But let's make that a billboard real quick. See how that looks. Okay, not quite there. They're always facing us, kind of thing. We can make those a plane. And look at that. They're a little bit better. We, of course, have a little bit more of an interesting perspective on our fences as we are looking at them to the side. But you know what? Maybe that fence sprite over here needs to be something a little different. Maybe we need to make a new sprite that's like a post or something, and then this would be quite a bit more legible. So that's an interesting one too. Wedge is pretty interesting. That is something that if you are wanting to build a building, you can make things kind of go into a kind of triangle pattern. And then, of course, you can also make a sprite and make it empty. And one thing that's really nice for this is if you want the player to not go beyond an invisible wall, then you mostly want to do something like that. I have not played a whole lot with kind of rotating things or moving them. Actually, you know what? This rotation here would be perfect for making another set of fences and rotating them so that they link up correctly. So actually, you know what? Let's try that out right now. I'm going to call this a plane. This is our original tile C. We're going to call this horizontal fence or fence hor. And then we're going to make a different fence. We're actually just going to copy this one, and we're going to call it fence vert. And we are now going to play with fence vert. It is selected here in our 3D settings. And note that's actually something we're going to have to do. We're going to have to repaint these sprites here. So I'm going to replace them with, I currently have these fence vert selected. So let's get all that going. And we got some spooky music playing around too. I'm loving it. Spiritus at best. Okay, so we've got that going. And then we want to maybe rotate this a little bit. So I'm not sure if I have to put in values here. Okay, so we got the X, Y, and Z plane. I believe we want to rotate these on the Y plane. The Y plane is the one running up and down. You can see it right here in your window. It is green, the Y plane. But we want to rotate something along it. So imagine that we skewer each of these fences. And we are skewering them from the top, the Y plane, and that is how we're going to be rotating them. And the order in which these numbers, we know, need to be presented are in X, Y, Z. So I believe if I rotate these 90 degrees, they will flip. And it was a success. Look at that. Now we have our planes facing in a way that allows us to imagine that these are something that we actually want to, that we can actually bump up against. We also have something going on here a little bit, though. we've got these edge pieces that aren't really doing it for us. And, you know, I think that's actually something that we need to do. One, we need to clean that up prospectively. But two, we are doing a Spirit Halloween parking lot here, and I think we need to do something aesthetically about this. So I'm going to make what's it called? A spear, a spike, I don't know what you should call it, that comes out of the ground. And we're going to do 2 tiles here. We're going to call this spike base. And actually, let's give that more of a base, easy to not associate it with. And then a spike top. And we are going to make our spike come up a little bit more. And we are going to make it look pointy. Cool, okay. So that kind of works. Remember, we are working with this layer here in the normal Bitsy window. So I'm going to take the spike base and I'm going to replace these. Looks like the way that it is interacting with the 3D settings here, it is automatically going to the floor layer, but we actually want that to stand up. This I am actually okay with always facing us, because it is kind of a pole. It's no matter what angle you look at it at, it should look the same. So let's try that out. Oh, a scarecrow would be pretty fun too. Yeah, let's actually do a scarecrow. That would be pretty fun. So we'll call that scarecrow base. And, oops, bonking my mic. Scarecrow top. And so that means we gotta draw a scarecrow here, huh? So we're gonna have this scarecrow up on a pole, a mounted scary crow. And we're gonna give him a hat. And he's gonna be going blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's just do it that way. So cool, we have these both up. I'm also gonna have to make sure that this scarecrow top is on a billboard so that it matches what we're doing here with the bottom. But wait a second, we're realizing right now we've been placing these assets here on the one plane that is Bitsy. But you know, if you select a sprite to paint, I'm actually making these tiles. I think that's okay, because these are technically decoration. These are walls. And we go in here and we zoom out a little bit. I'm using my scroll wheel to zoom out. We can select something on the top of this. And I don't know, let me see here. I should be able to place this on top. And I've done it before. It might be because these are billboarding. Let's actually set this to tower. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's set that to tower. Let's set these to tower as well. I don't remember quite what this will do. Okay, so this makes a 4-sided thing, which is maybe a little goofy, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to go to the scarecrow top, and I'm going to put it on top. So now we are actually working in 3 dimensions in addition to just having the cubes here. But let's mess around with this a little bit. Box, no, that might not quite be the right one. We can plane that one, or we might be able to billboard that one. Yep. But we needed a solid box down below to make sure that that came up. So let's see, let's play with a couple things here. I'm going to make it billboard, and then I am also going to make the base. Let's see if I can make that billboard now that I've stacked it. Yes, I can. Okay. I just had to do that backwards, I think. So now these scarecrows will always be facing us. Yeah, good parking lot. Let's actually play the game really quick. Oops. It's the old version of Bitsy right now. So we're gonna walk around. We actually have full camera controls. And look at that. We have our parking lot. It's actually gonna block me in the foreground. Peekaboo. And you know, I don't know, there's something a little strange about this parking lot, I think. Let's stop really quick. Let's get some parking lot, some fence going in here as well. Sorry, we're still playing? Yeah, we are. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, check that out. We have our new plane. I didn't know this happened. So we actually generated a new room, which is the plane that goes on top of our parking lot, which is where our 2 scarecrows are living right now. Interesting. I didn't know that yet. But let's make another couple fences here, and I want to test something really quick. Let's actually get one of our sprites. Let's get Candy going on in here. So let's visit Candy in this place, and let's check that out and see how that feels. We're gonna actually like put a game element in here, you know, to just mess around a little bit. So we're gonna go in here. Of course, we have our camera. We go in here and ooh, look at that! An interesting perspective. We have our towers. Oh, look at that! Our candy corn is back here. We can talk to them. I'm not candy corn. Sorry about that little outburst. That's pretty neat. But we got something going on here. Check this out. We've got candy corn this is a fence, like, right? We're supposed to see through that? And that's somewhere where we can look at our objects, and I forget where exactly that is, but we're gonna take this tile. We're gonna go to our fence, technically our fence vert and our fence our fence horizontal. And I'm going to make it have a transparent background. So note here, we're going to take our fence 4, we're going to make that a transparent background as well. It is still a plane. Also note, I don't quite know what's going on with these fences here in the leading from the Spirit Halloween, but I'm going to go ahead and repaint them because they were in block form. I think that maybe just didn't update when we were updating that stuff in the other place. So let's play now and see what happens when we make those transparent. Well, one, look at these fences right here. I can see through those fences and see the wall behind, which is pretty cool. My controls are technically reversed when I'm at this angle. Oh no, they aren't. I'm pushing down, but note that in my Bitsy, I'm pushing up, I'm pushing down, I'm pushing up. Looks like our controls are only corresponding to the 3D version of the game, so that's pretty cool. But let's go out here. We're in our parking lot. I'm going to change the camera a little bit. Look at that! Now I can see my candy corn through the fence, and I can see through these fences as well to see my ghost. Let's see if I change my controls here. Look, I want out. Please let me out. And we can see exactly how that works. Wow, I'm really impressed with the controls change perspective here. Look at this little scene. It's really great for art too. If you just want to make a very interesting little Bitsy scene and get a lot of perspective shots, you can do that. Note though that our scarecrows are still not transparent, so let's actually take care of them real quick. Crow base, we got transparent background, and oops, I don't want to add something new. Scarecrow top, let's make that a transparent background. So look at that, now we can see through them. It's pretty cool. I want to be, you know, there's something though that is not quite hitting me as hard. And that is that we have these scarecrows that are elevated above us, and the perspective is, you know, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm whelmed right now. But you know what? I want to be overwhelmed. So let's play with the camera a little bit. We have a fixed target orbiter right now, and that is fixed on our ghost, our character. Stop playing so that stuff doesn't go funky. But let's see what else we can do here. We have advanced camera settings. There's a lot of stuff here, so that's pretty neat. But we're gonna go through some presets here. We have a fixed targeting orbiter. So this one, I believe, allows us to move around, and it rotates based on where we are. Sorry, rotates on the actual dimensions of the level. Note that it is not orbiting around our character. I don't know if I can change these views while I'm actually playing. It's probably best to stop your game before you try anything new, and that will help it save and everything like that. Rotating follower. I wonder what's going on with this one. Let's try it out. I don't remember this one. So we're following our little ghost. Look at that. that's pretty fun. We got a nice bit of perspective here. Come out of our door here. Gonna be mad over here. Remember that death exists. Oh, and we can't change our avatar right now because we were using the newer version of Bitsy when we were doing that. But let's get in our door. Cool. We're being followed around. I do believe we cannot actually change the camera ourselves anymore as a player, which is true. Cool. Here's the one that's going to overwhelm me, I think. We have a dungeon crawler view. Note that in dungeon crawler view, if you push play, your sprite's going to get in the way. This is ghost vision. So actually, you know, this is great because you can make a mask or something. But we're going to stop. That's why it's really nice if we want to pull our avatar real quick. And I'm actually going to hide our sprite. We're only going to show them in the editor. But yeah, we can walk a mile in these ghost shoes. But yeah, let's play a little dungeon crawler real quick. This is neat. This is very exciting to me. I am not underwhelmed. I'm not whelmed. I am overwhelmed by this. Look, every time you push right or left, you change your perspective. And every time you push forward or backwards, you go to a new place. Like, oh, what was I just doing? Oh, I just came out of the door. Oh, Handlo. Look at us, Handlo. We're on the same level. Hello. Oh, you know what? I'm feeling so much more of an affinity for Handlo because they are just on my level. Finally, we can port Doom, exactly. But that's great. Yeah, look at that. This is another reason why it's interesting to make your sprites transparent or not. This one, for example, is technically transparent. We can see through the gravestone. Kind of funny, but great aesthetic that is very unique to Bitsy. So I don't know. I say rock it. You know, make this gravestone not transparent. We're gonna go back in the door. Oh, we came out. Oh, we got the bone here. Animatronic rats are on sale. Thanks, Bone. Let's hear our joke that we had earlier. Double bubble, Toyland, stubble, dummy. Okay, well, ooh, look at that. There's a little opening over here. Let's try this out. Let's go in here. We're in the parking lot. Oh, look, it's Candy. It's our pal Candy Corn. They're behind a fence, so let's go around the fence. Here's the parking lot spots. See, great effect with our parking lot spots drawn on the floor. Oh, here's Candy Corn. See, this plane effect right here may not be the most effective when we get into a perspective like this. We can't move forward because we can't quite see that we're blocked by a three-dimensional object. I don't know, maybe something that you can use to your advantage when designing something. But yeah, we went around this fence and are now able to talk to Candy Corn. So let's try it. I'm not Candy Corn. Oh wait, sorry. I've been talking about them as Candy Corn the whole time. Inappropriate of me. Sorry about that little outburst. Well, thanks, Hat. Gonna bump up against our wall. And look at that. This is why I'm overwhelmed. We have something taller than us. There's big stuff now, and it's these scarecrows that are always going to be looking at us. But you know what? They are great for the parking lot here. The fences go up to them. They kind of merge there, essentially, and we've done it. We're looking really good. Gonna go back out into this nothingness, which is back into this room. You could even do, you know, a sprite note here in our Bitsy window that we have some space here. Maybe you make a sprite that's really, really low and do it throughout there so it looks like something's in the distance here. Let's actually do that really quick. I'm curious to try that out. Let's do this, and we're going to call this Horizon. And I'm just going to draw a little bit of a... Actually, let's make this... No, we're not going to make it... Actually, yeah. Let's make Horizon door. And then draw that. And then let's make a copy of that and call it Horizon wall. And we'll do this and actually pattern that a little bit. So that maybe it looks like something's in the distance here. And I'm gonna go into my parking lot. And I'm going to draw the horizon wall all throughout here. And technically, this is a little bit... Oh no, this is fine. We'll just put both door sprites here, so it looks like a door of the building here. This is automatically going to the floor layer. I also don't want these to billboard and look at me. I'm going to try plain, which will just kind of make it stand up straight. I'm going to do that here too with the horizon wall. Let's try that out. Let's see if this gives us the illusion that there is something in the distance, such as our fun little Spirit Halloween meeting room to go into. Okay, so here is buildings in front of us. We have some fence, and then, oh, look at that. There's something in the distance here. I think we may want to play with perspective a bit. We would, unfortunately, in Bitsy, maybe have to make this parking lot a little smaller or something like that, so that we could maybe make these a little bit further away, because they do look like we could step on them like a toy train right now. But yeah, if we go towards there, it's just like, oh, we went into this building. That's the idea, at least. So yeah, you can do a lot of wild stuff. It's really, really fun. We could put a ceiling on this if we wanted to, technically. That would be really tough to play, be a little tough to edit. You can hide stuff outside of the editor too, though. And you can also change your camera perspective. You know, we did that dungeon crawler. I don't know what free first person is, but I'm going to assume that we can take our avatar, we can make them not hidden, shown only in editor. Remember, we did this so that we could see through their perspective instead of masking through our ghosts. We could actually be the ghost. And we're going to, what was I going to do here? Yeah, check out this other camera angle here where we can do free first person. I'm going to assume, when we play this, oh, we can look up and down. Okay, cool. So we do want to mute our ghost. Uh-oh. Get me out of here. Oh, I just had to click. That's pretty neat. Okay, so check this out. We're going to hide our ghost sprite, except in editor, for this ghost. If I click here, I can look around as much as I want. And the controls respond. I can only move, I can strafe or walk backwards or something, but I'm doing a full look around. So yeah, I mean, you really could. You could have those spooky animatronics hanging from the ceiling going booga booga. And you could be like, wonder what's up there. You could go over to this scarecrow and be like, hey, little buddy, look up here. Hey, look up here at you. How amazing. Can the avatar move up a plane, like building steps in a room? I have not played with that yet. There is not any tutorial that I've seen yet for this, really. I clicked around, just in a 10-minute search. I would have expected to find a tutorial on this, but I didn't. So this is all that I was able to kind of learn in about a half hour or something like that. And now it is everything that you have been able to learn in a half hour or so. Keep exploring. Again, we are at PIGSquad going to be having lots of events this month, where between 7 and 9 in the Discord channel, we're going to have some events where we are just in Discord hanging out. Essentially, I mean, if it just is quiet time where we can just kind of like chat and a little bit, but we can mute ourselves, hang out, just work on our own stuff, to just look up tutorials, share what we've worked on, share GIFs, screen share, all those kinds of things. It'll be a really good way to go. So yeah, if you find stuff, make sure to either come to those events and share with people and talk people through it, or you can also remember that we are doing a miscellaneous programming channel takeover in the PIGSquad Discord this month to focus more on Bitsy. And yeah, I guess another thing I'm realizing here too, with regard to being on a new plane, Marlowe recommended that you could potentially do that with exits. And think about this. This would be pretty impactful, I think. What if you are a sort of character that is looking for a magical moment, and you pop out onto a plane here. Again, we have our room here with the parking lot, and these scarecrows that are up top are actually on this other room, which is a plane. Imagine dumping the player out there, and they can fly, and they can look down at a landscape, or even, you know, we can build as much as we want to if we took these blocks, which I would say are boxes. Yep. You know, you can build as high as you want, and as long as your perspective, getting your perspective correct, you can build something really tall and be like, yep, I'm gonna go through this little archway here. How fun. How do you feel about that, candy corn? I mean, Pat. Remember, candy corn is not candy corn. But yeah, check this out. You can go pretty dang high with this. I've seen some amazing art here where you can build, you know, towers and stuff like that. And look at that. Now that just flickered because I changed rooms. I can look around this giant archway, walk back through, and now I'm back at home. And guess what? We learned that very quickly. There's so much you can do here, and even just this plug-in, which has so much different functionality, can really get us going into a very unique place. So that's great. Yeah. I think that's all I have to share. I think there are possibly some other options in here where you can change some of your 3D game, what's it called? Options? Whatever. You can position the dialog box a little bit differently. You can have fog. You can have tween distance. I believe that's when your character's moving. Movement hold intervals, all that kind of thing when you are moving around the space in 3D. And then remember that we have lots of things. We have lots of things going on with our camera, which is very important to all games and becomes very interesting in 3D. You can play with that. And with regard to our meshes, 3 messages. You can do all kinds of things there. Remember that we took our fence in this room and we made these fences rotate by playing with the rotate y-axis. Remember, if you're trying to rotate something on a specific axis, imagine that these arrows are skewering through it and that you're rotating it like shish kebab. And that the numbers go X, Y, Z. So this is the X value, this is the Y value, and this is the Z value. Technically, this is, I want to see this. This looks like size. This looks like scale. Let me see. Scale. Let's make these blocks big. Whoa! There we go. Big blocks. Oh, we're getting some fuzz. I think it's because they're not even. And look at that. Womp. I think that's because they're actually all running into each other. But you can make like a giant like character or something. Have them stand there and you have to go up and talk to them. It's kind of fun. I got to make the big Spirit Halloween mascot. And yeah, that's all I got right now. If anybody has any questions, let me know and we can play around. I do not know if a 3D game save will load into Vanilla Bitsy. That's another reason why I just recommend saving a lot, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to download this game. I might have overwritten something, which is bad. No, I didn't. I was good. So I'm going to say 3D end of workshop. Make sure to name your files. It's actually pretty good when you save a file, it will just pop something out based on your game name up here. So I would recommend definitely identifying the save point for these HTML files, and then when they pop onto your desktop or wherever else, just name the file there right away, because that will help you keep track. Yeah, and I don't know if Marlowe is still hanging out in the chat, but that is it from my portion. I'm going to say goodbye myself, but I'm also going to spookily summon Marlowe up here briefly to say hi again. maybe share a little bit about her game as we wind down. And I will let her do a full-on thank you for the workshop and talk any about our other Bitsy activities if she would like. So I am going to pop off for just 1 second. Thank you for everybody who has joined me. But get ready for just a tad more Marlowe, and we'll see you very soon. I believe our next event, actually don't know our next event, but it'll be soon, and I will see you there and online.
Okay, everyone, I'm just gonna follow up with sort of the last little notes. Don't forget that I'll post the link one more time. We have the tutorial that we followed earlier today for regular but not 3D Bitsy. You can go ahead and follow that, and at the end of that tutorial there's a link to the game file of the finished tutorial, so you can check that out. Definitely feel free and join us in the PIGSquad Discord this month in the Miscellaneous Game Engines channel. There's a lot of folks sharing progress on Bitsy, and I know I'm going to, and I'm super excited to see what everybody's making. And yeah, we'll mention the co-working sessions and all that kind of stuff, so just stay tuned. I think we also have a scheduled Bitsy game showcase of just some kind of selected cool games that are around that we've played over the years. So you can also kind of get a feel for what other games people are making. But yeah, other than that, that's going to be it. I know we crammed your brains full of knowledge tonight, and there's so much cool stuff. But if you have any follow-up, any questions, just hit us up on Discord. We'll be there, and there's other people who are familiar with Bitsy in there as well. So yeah. Thanks so much for following along, and we will catch you at the next one, and we'll see you around. Bye.